Hello, and welcome to another episode of Don't Trust the Dungeon Master. My name is Alex K, and I am that Dungeon Master. Welcome to, oh gosh, what's episode 26 of Arkelya? Is that what we're on now? I think. Yeah, episode 26. Episode 26 of us, third episode of us being back. Things are cooking. Things are not what they should be. Ready to go party last time. It's a little cold for me today, so you'll see a blanket. Yes. Let's see. So hi, how's everyone doing? We're glad to have you here. And we're ready to play. Well, most of us. Some of us, might not be ready to play, but we'll win it. So announcement-wise, we're back, right? And if you didn't get the memo, hopefully you're getting it now. We are back Sundays, 4 p.m. to approximately 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In fact, all of us are here currently. We even have Dagan on the line right now. Hi, Dagan.
Hey.
Beyond that, that's the big announcements. We're back. We're getting going again. We're playing. We're having fun. We're pretending to have fun, for some of us. Roderick, I'm looking at you. So I have nothing else to really. So we'll go ahead and talk with our member that didn't give us an update about their life over the last few months. DTW. What happened to you over the last, 4 months?
Well, I became a certified EMT in North Carolina, which is pretty cool. Trying to get a job with agencies, but that's a whole different bag of nuts. So that's going along, but I'm here now. Schedule's clear, so I'm able to enjoy D&D with you guys. So looking forward to that.
Hooray! All right, so that's
welcome back.
That's like the only main thing that's happened is that you got that cert.
Ooh.
Pretty much,
right.
And I'm raiding in WoW again.
Raiding in WoW. Look, he's on the WoW train too. Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
What's WoW?
World of Warcraft. Don't even.
Don't even.
All right. So, thank you, Dagan, for coming back. We're happy to have you here. We just had to, basically kill a king to make you come back.
Right.
I just had to do the most dramatic thing possible, and then yell at you in chat for 5 minutes before you came in.
The next time he goes away, we have to kill a god. That's when he'll come back. Basically, gotta one up it.
Dave, come on, quick! We're killing a god.
Count me out. Count me out of that one.
Yeah.
Put it on the
Right.
list.
All right.
It'll probably be Roderick's god we're fighting at that point.
So moving on.
Count me out.
Who
And
else?
we'll all die.
Who else wants to share some announcements over the last week then? Anyone?
I went camping.
Where'd you go?
It was amazing. So we went down to this little place. It was basically between Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. So we went and spent the day Saturday looking at stuff at Mount St. Helens, which was like the most devastatingly beautiful place that I've seen. Like, it was just so insane to see like the pictures and like, I mean, obviously I knew about Mount St. Helens and have read about it previously, but like to see it in person was just at a completely different level. But that was really kind of cool and fun, and we had a nice weekend until this morning when it was downpouring while we were taking down our tent and packing up to come home. So
Got super stoked by that.
oh god, it was horrible. I was drenched. My feet were completely soaked for the 2-hour ride home. So
Oof.
Yeah, it was pretty
so
bad
I
over
basically
here.
got home, we got everything unpacked, and my cat had crap all over her, so I had to go and bathe her. It's just been a long day, so I'm just super tired.
Sorry to hear it, but you're here now, right? You can escape for 4 hours and then go back to the shit-covered cat.
Then I have to get up early and go do overtime tomorrow. Woo!
Hooray!
May Owl rest in pieces.
Tomorrow's
All right,
Monday.
and
Yeah.
then
I have like a lot of overtime this week. It's gonna really suck. Hi, Diamond Ranch. I've missed you.
Hello, viewer.
She'll hear that in 30 seconds. Don't worry.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Doma, how about you? Anything new?
Kind of. It's not really good news though. My hours are getting cut back at work because it's slow season, so I might be getting a second job somewhere. I don't know how that's going to affect my schedule, but I'm going to keep today open unless I can't pay rent. So.
Right, that's just, we need another schedule change. We just need another one of those, right?
It's probably not going to change.
Oh boy.
As far as I'm concerned.
Man. Well, that's okay. No one really cared about your character anyway. I mean,
Ooh.
Well, Aniel dies, maybe he'll just like run away or something.
Just kill Aniel and my character will kill
Wow.
itself. It's solved. Two
It'll
birds,
take care
one
of
stone.
itself.
No, that's a perfect leadway. We kill Aniel off, and then he goes rogue, and he becomes the bad guy the entire time. Wow.
Oh, wait, is he the end boss? Oh, shit.
Oh. All right.
Oh,
Roger.
Let's do it. I'm just kidding.
Anything
I
for
mean, he
you,
attacked
Roderick?
that king pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he's going down the
Forgot
broad
about the
path.
hurricane.
Right.
2K, and I just been playing that.
That
the whole
unjust king deserved it.
Wait, all right.
You don't know
so
if he was
you
unjust.
said
You don't know if he's
it
unjust.
was a hurricane. You had a hurricane come through. Back up to that. Are you guys
It's just
alright?
wind and rain.
Those of you over in the Carolinas?
Yeah, it's all right.
Wind and rain. It's literally like a. That's all it is.
Oh, that's right. You both
You're like,
got
this
it,
is just
didn't
a storm. It's no big deal.
you?
Yeah.
Hurricane, hurricane.
I mean, if I said, hey, you know, last year around this, a few months ago, last year, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I would have, now, it's just some wind and rain,
Oh, that's good.
which
You guys
unfortunately
must
I have to go. I have work
looked up.
tomorrow, unfortunately.
You do?
Yep. I was hoping it'd be a little more, but wind and rain. Oh, I got 2K. Weekend will be otherwise, and or the rest of the week after work. So that's all.
Well,
Nice.
at least it wasn't worse for you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of other stuff going on down there, so hopefully everyone's okay. I haven't really watched much of the news about it, so I don't really know like the status of what's going on. So
Yeah, same here. I've just been living my life.
I can't remember the last time I actually watched the news.
it's too depressing, really. I mean,
It's an entertainment industry. Actually, that's what it is. All right, moving on. Moving on to better things. That covers everyone there that we're aware of. Because there's other people
Wow, way to slide that in there.
just
people
hiding
lurking
out
in the
there.
background.
So let's just reach out to them. How are you doing, Potato?
Ooh, yes.
What's
I
a
am
potato?
doing.
What's a potato? Isn't it like a root?
It's a root vegetable that
Yeah.
you
Correct.
can grow,
Mostly
and then you
starch.
like, yeah.
Is it
you
true
chop it
that-
up, you can grill it, you can fry it. I put a picture on Discord of us frying potatoes. Didn't you guys see that picture?
Yes,
They're
you didn't know
really
what a potato
delicious
was.
while camping.
Like Evelyn's giving
Really?
you live evidence of it. Like it
Correct.
exists, right?
I
Uh-huh.
like hash browns while camping. Oh,
Oh yeah, they're so
Oh my
good.
God. No,
Cast iron
tinfoil
skillet over a campfire, like nothing beats that. Nothing.
or tinfoil potatoes right in the fire.
oh yes.
Yeah, on the grill or even in the oven, like either way. Oh, I love
Tinfoil
it.
right on the fire.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Love you
that's
too,
how I
guys.
cook it.
Yeah. So many ways to cook potatoes. You can mash them, you can smash them, you can
You can
grill
dice,
them,
you
you
And
can
slice.
bake them.
Anything that causes severe damage to them is just the best way,
Yeah.
right?
You have to
Could
make
also
sure
just, you can just love them and hug them too, you know?
they need to be burned all the way through.
I do
though.
that when I eat them and put them in my belly. My belly hugs them for me.
And then my acid in my stomach just loves destroying it. So.
Oof.
All right.
Anyway, how's your day, Potato?
Pretty good. I think.
All right.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Excited
enough.
for this thing, and yeah,
This thing.
maybe you.
The thing, the
This
thing, the
thing.
thing.
What is the thing to you?
There's a
see.
thing?
No, I see how it is.
Yeah, that's what the hell, Potato.
All
I
right.
thought we were more.
And we
I
got,
thought we were a
Something.
group.
we also got one more phantom user there, I think.
Woo!
Who's still there, right?
He's here.
Yeah, but that guy's a noob.
What?
Wow.
You have no right to say that to anyone, buddy. Forgets his modifiers and stuff every time. Oh
He stepped
yeah,
away.
perception's based on wisdom, not on intelligence. Let me go
Oh, shoot.
Oh
Let
shit.
me just forget my second attack.
in. All right.
Oh god.
Is Mike there?
Twice.
Did he leave?
No, I think he's muted right now. He muted himself.
Damn,
Yeah, I
Mike,
think he might have stepped away.
Unmute.
All right.
There we go.
Can I step back?
How are
Hello?
You
you?
can step in.
Doing okay? Thumbs up?
Is that
I did.
Chuck Norris
How
thumbs
many
up, or is
thumbs
that just a
up?
generic, thumbs
I
up?
think it's more.
I'm not great enough to do the Chuck Norris thumbs up.
Blink twice if you need help, Mike.
Shh! Don't do it, Mike. I heard her say it.
I don't know how you can hear me blinking though. That's
That
We
was
were
just gotta
really
listen
good at
Real
hearing.
careful.
Yeah.
I never having a guildie back in my World of Warcraft guild. I would like, I hear you smiling. And I'm like, what the?
Well, I mean, you can actually.
There is a difference when you talk.
Yes,
when
your
you
lips are
smile.
tighter, right. But he's
Yeah.
like, I hear you.
Can tell a difference.
I know.
Blood, you know.
I railed into him at that time. Trust me, he felt the wrath of Laris that day.
God, the wrath of Laris.
He was a priest. He was a troll priest named Iamjur. Oh man, he was something. If you're watching Iamjur for some random reason, I don't know how that's coincidental, but hey, what's up? All right, moving.
When we're famous one day.
T and Luns. Yeah, we're not gonna ever get famous. Let's pull.
That's negative, Laris.
That's
negative.
It's realistic.
Being
Is what it is.
negative.
It's
Stop
realistic.
being negative, Nancy.
Wow.
Yeah, Laris.
All right, we can't stall for much more longer. We have hit that 4:30 mark approximately now, so let's get going, right, guys?
We literally do it to 4:30 every time.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Well, we're losing a half hour of playtime by doing that. Just FYI, you guys.
Oh man, if only I can get another 3 hours
Cheat,
of
no.
this stalling done.
That's not how it works,
Play.
Laris.
We don't have
Alright,
to play,
let's play.
Laris.
All right, so then,
We lost Petite
did we lose Petite? No.
on the table.
Petite, are you still there?
Mm.
Oh,
We did
maybe an
lose it.
outage.
Petite, no.
Roderick?
He's like, it's just a little wind and rain, and then
Power
he
outage.
disappears.
Oh dear.
The NC power grid's actually taking a big hit, so
All
I
right.
wouldn't be
Well,
surprised.
well, we'll wait. We'll give him 5 minutes, and if he's not back in 5 minutes, we'll play without him. That will literally be 4:30 exact, and then we will. So what can we say? What can we talk about for 5 minutes?
I don't know. We gotta sit in awkward silence now.
Oh shit! I don't know how to do that.
So far, so good. Oh wait, it just ruined it.
Shit, Laris.
Damn it!
God damn it, man.
What were you thinking?
Hmm. How about the
didn't
viewers?
prepare
Any,
for it.
how are the viewers doing? Diamond Ranch, how are you?
How are you?
Is Amira
Tell us
here
about
right
your
now?
day. My mom is not probably on. She works Sundays,
Oh,
so
look at that. We lost a viewer because of the schedule change.
yep, we did.
That's a load of.
She only was on last week because she was off.
Oof.
Right now she's probably out catching Pokemon or something on a break.
Jeez, man. What
She'll catch something really cool and she'll like text me and I'm like, that's great, Mom. I don't play this game, so I like have no idea what the hell a Glimmer is or Grimer or whatever the hell she got today. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but that's cool. That's awesome.
Good job,
As
Mom.
long as you're happy.
Right.
Pete's typing something. He's probably saying power outage.
Well,
Don't know. when
there
I'll get
is
back.
kind of there's kind of sad. So my mom's house was broken into this week. It was
What?
pretty rough. Yeah. So we're just waiting to see till like if they can figure out who it was. They came into like fingerprints and stuff like that. So, but she's really upset. She really doesn't want to stay in the apartment anymore, obviously, and so.
Do they like break the door down, or do they just like? How do they
No,
get
it's
entrance?
really fucked up. So my mom is one of those people where she has like dowels cut like for the windows so that cause she's on a first floor, and she's always been kind of on a first floor. So she had dowels cut for all the sliding windows because even like the sliding glass door, so that you can't like open them without like hitting the dowel. But I guess they were cut too short, and so the guy had enough room to like wiggle the window off the rail because like if you look at like your window frame, the bottom, hers are super tiny and like thin, like the rail. And so he was able to basically like push it off the rail and in, and then slide it over and climb in. And so he basically like what I guess he tried to do it at the living room window. He tried to like so he jacked up one of the screens of the living room window, and then he must have gotten like someone walked by and probably caught him or saw him or something. So he went over to the spare bedroom window and opened it and slid in. He must have been super skinny because there was not much room for him to get in there. But he knew the apartment layout because he went right to the master bedroom and just started ransacking it and throwing shit on the bed. And he destroyed her jewelry box that she got from her grandma. And he missed the cash. Like, I think he was just looking for cash. But he stole some of my grandma's jewelry and great grandma's jewelry. And my mom's wedding band to Noah and Noah's wedding band. So he basically just stole a bunch of jewelry. And he must have gotten interrupted again though, because he literally just like walked out the front door, left the front door unlocked and everything. She's obviously not. I mean, I can't imagine feeling violated and like just knowing someone else was in your house touching your things. Like, that's just, I don't know. So I think they're gonna see about looking for a different apartment on like a higher floor.
That's a heavy subject there.
Yeah.
But
Sad.
they're all okay. The cats are okay. Everyone's fine. It was just like I said, they just stole some jewelry. It's
Okay.
irreplaceable jewelry. Maybe they'll find it. Maybe they won't. But at least it was just
Check
that. It was nothing more. So
You should check nearby pawn shops.
That's what I was
that's what
saying.
they're doing. Yeah, they're checking that. She had to bring a list. She had to like bring a list to the police department, I guess, and like tell them exactly, because when it happened, she couldn't touch anything, and it was like a 6-hour wait for the police to get there because I guess a little kid was shot like down a little bit
shit.
farther
Jeez
away from them.
Louise, man.
So
That's
like
not
they
a
had to
good neighborhood,
wait.
man.
No, I think it was like on the other side of town from her, but like basically all their resources went to that. So there was no one to be able to come over and take the report for them. So it was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night before the police showed up, and then they had to wait for CSI to get there and do all of their stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just a really long night. And so they basically had to sit in their house that was ransacked and
definitely.
like just sit there waiting.
Definitely, they for sure met felony level, right? They got over $900 worth of goods, yeah?
Probably,
Yeah.
but we'll see what happens. I mean,
Probably nothing. Yeah.
probably nothing.
That's
Exactly.
That's just the reality
Do you
of the
think
world, right? People do crap like
Right.
this all the time, and they're gonna get away with it. That's one of those
Right.
really frustrating things that I had to experience, like 5 years ago. You know, you get that kind of main character syndrome, like, oh, nothing bad's gonna happen to me, and then me and my brother were seeing someone who was in trouble, and Matt got there first, and then Matt got punched right in the face for it,
Oh,
and
what?
yeah, broke my brother's nose. We were doing what we
Oh,
thought was right,
shit.
and then like when the cops came, we went to the hospital because his nose was broken and was bleeding
Right.
terribly. And when we got there, police got involved because like, well, what happened? And I go, well, this guy socked my brother in the face. Okay, assault. And then they basically told us, you know, the real world is a lot more brutal than what you kids currently think. Like that guy could have had a gun. People kill you for lesser things like that. You can't just think that you're gonna be okay.
Yep.
You should not have gotten involved.
Right.
I mean, I respect your decision here. You know, kudos to you, but you know, it was the wrong decision because he could have shot you and he would get away with it.
Right.
The description we had was in an area where there's, you know, a huge amount of people that meet that description. They're not gonna just randomly arrest people. So.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So that guy totally got away with it, and I seethe with anger every day when I well, not every day, but every day I think
If you
about it.
remember though, and you're just like Jesus.
Yeah, it
well,
makes me
that
mad
could
that
have
this
been-
guy exists out there. And it brings a very dark realization in my heart of just like how much ill will I wish upon this person. Like how badly I want them for them hurting someone that I care so much about, right? Oh, bad scene.
Yeah. So
Whew.
Can we get
it's been a
to
long.
Yeah, we
It's been
can.
a long week. but-
Petite's back. All right.
less depressing topics,
But
please?
we're real people here, people. Just like
Yeah.
there are real people out there.
Yeah,
you
shit
know.
happens.
All work
But
There we go.
like I said, my mom and Mike are good. The cats are good. Everyone's safe. So at least it wasn't worse, and no one was home when it happened. So, yeah.
That's
yeah.
good.
Okay.
Moral of the story: rob a house. You'll get away with it.
It's a terrible moral of the story, Potato.
Terrible.
All right. you guys
Moving
do your
on.
thing.
Moving on.
Moral of the
All
story
right.
is match that potato.
Actually, the moral of the story is kill a king. We'll get away with it. That's what the moral of the
Apparently
story
so.
is.
That's the
Apparently
story here.
so.
Yes.
But kill a king that's not incredibly well liked. That's the key there. If he's liked,
That's
you're,
the key.
you're screwed.
Right.
If he's not
Yeah.
well liked, then you can probably get away with it. So we'll find out if the population liked them or not in today's episode of Don't Trust the Dungeon
On.
Master.
Oh.
Cue
Oh,
title
yeah.
card.
Cue our music. What's our music? Do, 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 do,
Just some like
It's
generic
the death
news music.
march.
Death March. All right.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
So
Sports Center.
Heavy metal.
Wrong one.
we're finally going to begin today's episode with our 30-minute interlude. So in our last episode of Don't Trust the Dungeon Master, our party found themselves returning to Medan, inside of Medan City.
Oof.
And as they entered into Medan City, they wanted to go see loved ones. Let's just use that term loosely. Loved ones first. They ran to the Temple of Thorns and exchanged some dialogue with Lena and Darvis, caught up on some themes and the upcomings of what's happened in Medan, and as they were kind of regaling each other about what they saw in the mines, a entourage of armed soldiers, the Bronze Blades, barged their way into the Temple of Thorns, and then asked for our party to follow them to the king, of which the party agreed and went to the king, High King Landrien Highsworn. As they approached High King Landrien Highsworn and then were locked into the throne room with him, the king, very pissed at them, very, very mad, started talking about things, and the party got elevated really quickly. That escalated really fast. Demiyoko, in a fit of anger, I suppose, decided to start things off with a moonbeam on the king, and then that exploded into a very big array of combat, and ultimately High King Landrien Highsworn has met his demise, as well as his royal guard Bella also was incinerated. The two Agnir constructs were destroyed in the process, and our party kind of like trying to deduce what to do next. A bunch of guards rushing in there, pointing sticks at them, basically, spears, like, what are we gonna do? And the guards are not necessarily trained for it, what to do when a king gets assassinated in front of them. The party managed to convince them.
Intimidation.
The more I hear this, the more absurd this seems to be to me. But
Yeah.
they managed to
ridiculous.
talk their way through not being executed on the spot, and rather are under house arrest at the Temple of Thorns. They got a really good deal, I think, at the moment. So you guys were then escorted through Medan after killing the king. And I mean, Roderick just blowing his head clean off his shoulders. Back to the Temple of Thorns.
Unidentifiable. That's not the king.
What? What was
Not
that?
identifiable.
Oh, well, I mean, it probably is the king. It's wearing the king's armor and the right height. And...
What's left of it?
Yeah, it kind of got blinded a few times.
Anyways, so the party escorted back to the Temple of Thorns. You are brought up to the steps that lead to the temple, leading up to the temple itself. You see the stained glass window of the tree with the green light beaming out of it, providing kind of like almost like an atmospheric aura effect, as there's like a little bit of residue that kind of hangs in the air here in Medan that kind of just floats around in this under chasm. And you start climbing up the steps, and there's only like 4 guards with you, and they're actually got a good clearance of distance between you and them. They're like a good 15 feet. Like, you get the air that they're like escorting you, quote unquote, but like they really don't want to be where they're at. They're kind of just, it's like a formality. They get about they come up, you guys get up to the top of the stairs before they kind of just look at you, and they don't make any gestures, and you just all decide to waltz your way forward, enter into the temple. As you enter into the temple itself, you see the array of 30 or so citizens that are elder or very young individuals that are currently like kind of pushed off the sides of the wall, and their eyes meet your eyes, and there's just kind of just like looks of expression of just of uneasiness. They look like they're tired, that they've been having a very long journey. They all just look fatigued, and kind of they exchange glances with you of some kind of like expectation, because you just left and now you're suddenly back here, and your silhouette's kind of glamoring through the temple. And if I recall, you guys one of you were looking for Lena, and you couldn't see her at the moment.
I think that was Al, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
I couldn't see my mom or Lena, I think is who I looked for. The 2 times I did it and it failed.
no. I mean currently, like when you came back in the temple, you made a quick...
Lena, not Rolena.
Oh,
Yes.
Lena, yeah,
Lena.
yeah. We looked for. No, she was at the front. She was at the front. They were under the
Yeah,
tree or
yeah.
something.
Doing a
Yeah,
Right, so
sermon.
I think you guys
They
made
were
your
there.
way. I think you guys made your way to the tree, and then you made your way to the back. Or am I confusing things at this point?
How bloody is everyone right now?
I thought we came in and then they were.
I mean, everyone's
were
looking
given a sermon.
pristine for the rest of us.
You are effectively battle hardened. Let's just say that. You're hurt pretty badly, Domo. You look beat up, but
Roger looks beat up too.
yeah, I mean overall, I mean everyone's kind of fair and okay. A call doesn't look too bad, but doesn't look too worse.
I think I'm the
worse.
only one that was
Evelyn looks fine. Her dress is.
She's like, I got a little bit of dust,
Yeah.
a little bit of dust, so I'm gonna wipe
She
it off.
kind of flexed her shoulders just a little bit, getting them, oh man, geez, spider web or something.
What a
So
hard
tiring.
All right, so just to kind of reset the scene then, so you guys enter in here. The guards do not follow with you into the Temple of Thorns, but as you kind of make your way in, you kind of like glance over your shoulder and you see that they're staying there, like as if it's their post, and you kind of see them actually like either gossiping or talking amongst one another, but they're talking in a very hushed tone and quiet. And then these people, the rest of the citizens inside the temple are just watching you as you kind of make one footfall after one footfall as your boots echo into this almost like amphitheater kind of effect as it kind of bounces off into the interior here. And it's just very quiet, and you all feel like this pressure, like they know, like there's this paranoia in your head, like they know, they must know. How could they not know what just happened? And they just kind of, their eyes just trail you as you make your way down towards the tree. And as you look at the tree, you look around and you hear voices out in the back, where down the vine bridge. And what would you like to do? You hear two people talking down there.
Do we recognize the voices?
From your passive, yeah, that's Darvis and Lena down there.
All right, let's head that way.
Yep.
There, Lena and Darvis are there.
So, crossing the root bridge, you make your way into the back where there is Lena and Darvis, and they're currently Lena's currently sitting on one of the stone benches. It's not even a bench; it's a table, but she's currently sitting on it. And Darvis is in front of her right now, and he's trying to make eye contact with her, but you can tell like she's actually like looking, like almost trying to avert her eyes from him. And as you make your way in, Darvis's head shifts and looks over to you. Oh, hey,
Hey.
how's it going? How are you?
We could be better.
Wait, what the blazes happened to you? He rushes up
quiet.
to you, Toma. What? Did he cut off an ear? And he's like checking your face to see if there's like a missing limb or something like that. There's a sigh of relief as he sees that all your appendages are still there, but there's this
Darvis.
general look of
Still.
concern.
Mostly intact.
Hush your voice. Hush, please.
Hush.
We need to. speak with you.
What the hell happened?
Doma decided to attack the king unprovoked, is what happened.
What? You hear him yell as it bounces
Darvis,
into the
shut
hall.
up.
Down the hall.
Darvis.
I-
Seriously.
God.
Quiet. You guys do not spread.
So we are under house arrest here at the Temple of Thorns.
Lena's eyes are very wide, and she's like bouncing to every single one of you. Darvis.
Well,
Lena, if there's any elders in this city that need to be gathered, maybe you can help facilitate that. If they'll let you leave, I don't know.
yeah, we kind of won.
Lead.
So
Hold on.
Right now,
He starts slapping his cheeks very hard. How? Wait. I don't even.
Darvis.
All right. I'll keep it cool. Play it cool. Play it cool.
Yes.
Yeah. How did this come to be?
As she said, Doma gave him a nice moonbeam.
I kind of lost it on him.
Yes.
lost it on him. That's what you're calling it.
Oh, do you have a phrase you'd rather
Whatever.
call it?
We'll talk about this sooner. Yeah. So we ended up fighting the king.
I'm
Constructs
standing about as
was
far away from
Stella.
Dome as I can get, by the way, during this.
And we killed them all. The guards that are outside, they escort us here for house arrest.
Because we kind
I've
of said this is
informed
our place, residence.
Yes, I've informed them to try to gather up some of the most at least some of the most respected people in the community, so they can gather and can form something. So there isn't a vacuum at the top.
What? Why?
Why what?
Why attack him?
Ask Doma.
I'm trying to. He's like looks right towards Doma.
Sorry, I had to turn something off because it was being a little annoying. Well, there's a few reasons. Basically, I couldn't take what was happening to everyone. It looked
In his
lot like
respect, Sir
home.
Dwarf, Captain Miles kind of chimes in. Your king was a loon. This was the best outcome we could have. He was gonna need to be put under. He was going to go to
Captain
war.
Miles.
I can attest to it, right, Doma? She gives you a nod.
Don't try to justify it, please. It is what it is at the end of the day. We don't fully know his intentions. We won't ever know fully.
We never will know his intentions.
And the blood of this king is on our hands.
Lena's like trying to formulate something. You can't really tell what she's trying. Like she's trying to piece it together. Darvish is just now like kind of sits down, or more or less leans, actually I should say, next to this like stone table that comes up near Lena. So the Highsworn legacy is gone.
Mm-hmm.
For thousands
Yep.
of years, they've been there. He didn't have an heir. Darvish just stares up towards the ceiling. I
Probably would
don't
grit
know
his
what to
teeth.
think. I don't even know what to think. Well, what does this mean for us, Lena? What's gonna... Oh,
I'm sorry.
man.
Hopefully, this means maybe you'll have a choice
When
in
you
your
open the
future.
great gates.
Are they gonna execute you? What are they gonna...
We don't know.
I don't
no
know.
idea.
We're house arrest for now.
There's the emergency exit. You could
No.
No.
No, I refuse. I dealt the final blow, and I'd rather face any consequences.
We could never do that.
Was it what are they gonna get? If they Darvis is now like just rubbing his chin cheek. Nope, not cheek. Chin. There we go.
Chin. Forehead.
Something with a C.
Temples.
His chin. And he's
I'd
got,
like to
he's
guess
got- he's
the
got his
first
beard, He's
letter.
like rubbing his fingers against it, like he's just like trying to think. Well, everyone, Captain Miles, what's the plan here? You're going to just accept the punishment whatever punishment they give you all?
What do you suggest we do, Captain Miles?
I'm sure
You know
guys
more
say
about
it's
dwarven culture than us.
I know about the other side. I'll tell you this. From the other side, there is no escape. You're on a mountain. There was no way out. You couldn't outrun it. They would eventually find you and they would get you. So running would not be an option.
Someone has the key, right?
I have the key.
Captain Miles' eyes kind of light up. You got the... Let me see, please.
Yeah, we got the key. Like we said we would.
I show her if I do not give it to her.
It's like an apprehensive as she recognizes your body posture of not like this mistrust.
Mhm.
Right.
We need to see what happens next first before we decide what to do with this.
My conscience won't sit well if we can at least rectify the situation to some extent.
I just want to clarify. We do still intend to open the Grey Gate, yes?
As far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, since it's already got to this point.
I don't know that I will travel to it, but we'll see what happens. There's just too many unknowns at this point. Lena, is there anyone in town that you know that could help in this kind of situation?
Oh,
Maybe you guys could form some kind of council, some kind of governing body to help in the aftermath of all of this.
I mean, I can reach out to the other temple.
Are they well informed? Well, do they know what they're doing as far as for statecraft and? Or are there any officials that we can get in contact with?
Well, I haven't actually been over there. They were kind of, rivals, per se. Marlesh and Velad don't exactly see eye to eye.
Well, if that's the only thing that will keep your city together, it's worth trying, isn't it?
Still don't know what they're gonna do.
I guess I can go chat with the Thundercaller, I suppose. See what he thinks.
I just hope our choices don't fall back on you. And I just kind of look down at like my hands.
Well, everyone, I mean, you're still alive right now, so that's good. And I mean, I look at it this way. We, I don't even know what to say.
I think we're only alive because they're confused and don't know what to do. But once they figure that out, you don't know what'll happen.
That's for certain. You're probably right. Helena, I will go talk to Cross. I'll go see if I can help Policita. You can stay here and make sure everything's all right here, okay? And Lena just slowly nods. All right. I'll go try to chime in as a representative. He pumps his chest of the Temple of Thorns, and we'll see this through. Don't worry. I will. We'll get you guys off the hook. Yeah. The king was a crazy loon. He was. Yeah. I'll just start saying that to help. I hope.
Thanks,
right?
Jarvis.
What sets you off exactly, Doma? What did he say? That.
Well, told us he killed our friend, executed her. And the fact that he was starving his all his people technically go to war with the mines just reminded me too much of home.
There is some reasoning actually to that. You're right. Why didn't we just run away through the back exit here? Lena, why didn't he just do that? I don't... She just, kind of gets, a half shrug. She's trying to think it through.
I'm sorry, everyone. I acted without thinking, and...
That's an understatement.
Now, you guys are gonna get punished for it.
Listen, I understand your reasonings for this, but acting impulsively could lead to worse consequences than what it is. The king may have been a nut, whatever, but us killing him, we could let someone even worse be there now.
We could also have saved many lives. Captain Miles chirps in.
Or doomed them just the same.
True.
We don't know.
We could have. I feel that this is still the best outcome, sir.
Captain Miles, will your people take advantage of this?
Well, there were some contingencies that I did place in Hammerhold in case things didn't go right. If they don't hear back from me within a week, they can assume the king's message is, and she runs her finger over her neck. So at the minimum, they would accept that as a declaration of war.
So we gotta do something before a week's up.
I don't know if we can do anything about it at this point, but that would be... Keep in mind, the declaration of war doesn't mean that you just immediately go kill each other, right? It's you amass your resources, you prepare for it, and then you would take action when it's strategically viable for you.
Unless the other side is already ready for that, for war.
They could already be prepared. We don't know. I just mean they're not going to come in here and they're not going to just take over these people's lives. I mean, that wouldn't be right
How
either.
do we know that?
Oh, it might be the best thing for them, though. We have things working well over there. If they would be willing to allow us.
But these aren't your people.
So then add more to the council from this side.
That's why I'm saying there should be a council on each side to make the balance work.
They have to decide for themselves.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
These people need to decide what they want for themselves. It wouldn't do anyone any good for you to step in, or your side to step in and try to do something or take over. That would just look terrible, I think. I mean, it probably would to everyone else too. They deserve to decide what they want for themselves.
Lena looks over to Miles. Does your side function well? Is everyone happy over there? Oh, they're reasonably happy. Not everyone's perfectly happy. There's still problems. I'm sure there's problems everywhere. I don't think there would be a single civilization that has zero problems. But things work. We have our 4 pillars. People day to day. They have things to go after. They try to improve their lives. There's no one single person that exists that can just flat out ruin you, though. It have to be a collective decision. That's why I think the way we have it's probably the best method.
You said most of the people over on your side, all they wanted was the Grey Gate open so that you guys could trade and...
Well, not to everyone. I mean...
Well, not everyone, but...
But there's a lot of us would like to get the hell out of this mountain. There's a lot of dangers in here, and I mean, it wasn't our decision to close it in the first place. It was that bloodline that is no longer... So, without that there, we have no... I mean, unless the powers that be decide to keep it closed for some reason. I don't know why you would want to. All of you want to get back to your world, right?
Mm.
And the problems you have out there.
Not like the way we were, though. Not like this.
Right, I will go see the...
I mean, whatever happens next, I don't think we will have a say in it. So...
I'll be back, everyone.
Thanks again, Dars.
Chin up. He slowly makes his way out of the little jammed room you're in.
Were chairs ever brought into this room?
There's no chairs in here. It's just the stone tables.
I thought so.
Lena's still currently sitting on one. There's like a little bit of a tap with her right index finger on her her thigh.
This Starvis character, who is he exactly again? The one who just left?
Oh,
What does he
crap. The letter.
What letter? I thought we already gave him the letter.
I wasn't there for that then.
Oh yeah, we gave him the letter.
Gave him the letter and the alcohol.
Okay, never mind.
Captain,
What does he do
I'm
later?
beat. I'm gonna go to rest. If they're gonna kill us, they're gonna kill us. I might as well at least get some shut-eye before then, Genevieve says, and Reese kind of gives a nod to the captain. She nods back as the two of them decide to then
Good night.
leave you guys there.
What does Darvis do for employment?
Ta-
What is his job?
Darvis? He's my assistant here at the Temple of Thorns.
But he seems to take initiative. He's,
Right. Yeah, he kind of does, doesn't he? Lena, and then stares down at the floor.
could be an idea that he could be useful in what could happen if there is a council and he knows people and is nice of good of heart. Just a thought.
Possibly. I would hope so, at least.
He is a good man. He is. He's a great dwarf.
I turn around and walk out. I'm gonna go up top where I drew my picture for Roderick. I'm gonna go up there and sit.
All right, so the balcony. In this case, it would be the east balcony. So you start walking away, and not saying anything, just turn and walk.
So, since I've never been here before, well, myself, this area, it's like a big atrium with a tree in the center, correct?
Yes. So to the yeah, I'm sorry, I can never really explain this.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
So yeah, I kind of told myself before this episode, yeah, I gotta read dialogue about these things right every now and then, and I kind of forget to do it. My bad. All right, so you're in a giant stone temple that's probably in the ballpark of maybe 3 to 4 stories tall total. However, there's as you came inside, you saw several columns placed in the interior, and the columns connected to a second floor that looked like it's a balcony. There might be something up there, but you can't quite see. And the very down the middle, as you're making your way in, like where the columns are, there's all these like roots that kind of come up through the ground in between the tiles, and they form what appear to be pews or benches of some sorts. In between those pews is where all the people are kind of like jamming themselves against the stone walls in the moment, kind of just crowded there. Not many people are actually on that. They were trying to get as much distance between them and any would-be potential dangers to them.
Mm-hmm.
As you would go past the pews, you would then get into what appears to be kind of like several stones that are elevated, like a small little stairway that leads up, and they're curved in an edge, so it's a kind of a curved half circle arc to these stairs as you make your way up, and there's a small like little reservoir that you can tell is designed to hold a whole bunch of fluid, water. But you recognize that on your way up that there appears to have been damage done to these stairs in the past. There was cracks everywhere. However, the cracks look like they've been recently fixed. You do see, as you were making your way through, a very clear-looking water, but as it goes about 20 or so feet down, it just becomes this black darkness that you can't see through. Inside this pond of sorts, and this well up here, there's a giant, massive tree with its roots just unfurling out. And as your eyes were making your way through, you saw that these roots actually branched their way through into the entire interior of the entire temple of itself. You see the roots kind of sprawl their way out, and you assume that those roots themselves are the ones that make the pews. And you see these roots kind of crawling their way up and spiraling around each of the columns and worming their way up to the ceiling. The tree itself is probably in the ballpark of maybe 30 to 40 feet tall. Very wide diameter. Diameter is probably in the range of 15 to 20 feet. A very noticeable and distinguishable feature of this tree, though, is as you're making your way towards it from the front, you can see there's one giant branch that stands out, and that branch itself is in the shape or a visage, sorry, of what appears to be an elven individual. The branch kind of forms itself into that of the likeness of an elf. Then the elf just stares upward with its eyes closed. It doesn't really have hands, but its arms kind of meld into its body, and it has this look up towards the heavens with its eyes closed. Looks like it's kind of probably more of a male elf than a female elf. It's kind of hard to tell. You don't see like a bosom or anything like that. There's like long hair that kind of morphs down into the branch itself that then forms into the tree. And the tree that itself has a large cluster of branches that appear above it, so this kind of branch stands out on its own. And above that, those branches actually have leaves, and you don't see any natural light in here that would support growth. However, there are leaves. There's a pretty nice set of buds that half bud, half leaves that are kind of been blossomed out of it. It's a pretty interesting spectacle. Let's see. There's also this like green light that kind of permeates inside the interior of this temple. And you see these like Agnir crystals that are placed throughout that are now providing illuminance or illumination through the interior of it. Past the tree, there was this root bridge that's made by, you surmise to be the roots of the tree itself, that you walked across, and there's a good 60 feet or so of this bridge between you and this like little cubby of a hallway that you walked past. You walked across these roots that then brought you to this cubby, and you walked down the cubby. The cubby's like 40 feet, a small little hallway, which then got into a small little compact room that's probably 15 feet by 15 feet or so, and there's two stone benches that come about 4 feet off the ground, which is where you would then saw Lena sitting against one of them, and Darvis in front of her trying to make eye contact originally. In that room it's just a whole bunch of stone shelves built into the wall around it with a varying degree of random objects that seem to have some importance. You get the notion that this is, as a temple as it is, it feels like these are religious or high importance to whatever group that supports it. Go ahead and make a religion roll for me, a call. With advantage in this case, actually.
Wow, okay. That is a flat 4.
Flat 4. Yikes.
Yeah.
So what you do pick up here is that this definitely feels like it's tied to Marlesh, the deity over nature. You don't know necessarily the importance of this. The tree definitely stands out to you as something very important. Kind of just you were just too in the spectacle of all this new stuff happening to you at once, these new things that you've never seen before, and just kind of too entranced in this thought of this like, wow, all this stuff is happening around me, to really put too much thought into this exact moment. So you kind of just were like more embracing the moment rather than thinking about what all of this means per se.
I get you.
So that hopefully gets you up to speed. So right now you're currently still in that cubby way. In that cubby in the back, there's actually a blue crystal that's affixed in the very center on the top, and that blue crystal is actually providing a light blue light, which differs from everything else you've seen in Medan thus far. So there's this like almost kind of like sky blue glow in the interior of this room in the back. The room back there does have roots that also kind of crawl their way and force their way in at random points in between the stones in that back area as well. So hopefully that gives you a good painted image of where you are at the moment. Hopefully.
It does.
Evelyn has left you. So currently we have in that room, we have Captain Miles, Aniel, Doma, Roderick, Lena, I think are the 5 people that are still in that room at this moment.
Aniel came with us.
She's there, yes. As you look over her, though, she's kind of looking like she's about to pass out. She's wobbling, and her eyes are kind of like rolling in the back of her head every now and then. She kind of like shakes herself to kind of force herself back away. But she looks like she's just exhausted, barely conscious kind of thing.
I'll walk over to Aniel. Hey, are you doing all right, Aniel?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you? And she like looks over at you and sees you in your bloody state. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try to and-
Don't. I gently grab her hands. I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
I'm worried about you.
Don't be. I'm okay. I just need to.
It's not how being okay works, Daniel.
I don't think you did the wrong thing. I'm on your side, okay?
That means a lot to me, but I don't regret what I did. I just regret dragging everyone else into it.
I'm sure
Wow.
we'll get through this.
Yeah, we will.
They'll see. They'll understand that.
Hey, the water in this temple was holy, right, Lars?
Oh, jeez, man, that's a rough question to throw.
Loaded question.
I remember it used to, there would be like checks in it, and every time we sense the thing,
There was
like,
definitely a permeance of a magic that lingers in it. Now, whether you consider that holy or not is completely subjective.
Loaded
you.
question.
You're not next to the water currently, so I mean, you want to go investigate it. You may, I guess.
I
God.
do want to go investigate it.
So you're going by yourself.
He wants
Alright.
to swim in holy water.
So you just want to
I don't
you just
swim
turn
in
right
it.
now in a moment of enlightenment.
No.
You just
No.
leave. Okay. So instead, it's a thing you're thinking about. Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
So Roderick's still in the same room. Oh god, it sucks. All right. So he can tell that Anio's not looking right. Based off of what she has, basically the way she looks, does he think that one of the scrolls we can use, the one that can cast greater restoration, would be able to help?
Make an Arcana check, Roderick, to see if you
Do a thing.
would understand if greater restoration could be assistance or not in her current fare of events.
All right. That's a 22.
So you know greater restoration is good for helping with like ailments, like curses and disease or just flat out exhaustion. And so you could use this scroll and it would maybe probably help with fatigue level, but you're getting this feeling that that's not her problem. You've been seeing her health declining for a while anyways, ever since the lake encounter, right? And she just hasn't been anywhere near what you were even when you first met her, she was already in a pretty bad state based on the circumstances that was there. You never have seen her actually fully healthy, but she has definitely been weakening more and more. And Doma's very alarmed by it, and you probably are alarmed. Your character's probably alarmed by it a little bit too. You don't think that scroll is going to remedy anything. It would probably be more of a like taking aspirin, right? It doesn't resolve the problem. It would just mute the pain for a period of time. So there might be some help to it, but you just don't feel that it actually is going to resolve anything. There's greater powers at work here, far beyond the scope of what that spell can do for you, or that scroll can do for you, unfortunately. So it kind of comes down to that it comes to a decision of choice whether you think that would be worth using or not. But hopefully I give you an idea with your 22.
Well, on to the side, Roger will suck his teeth after reviewing his options.
You all look very, very worn out. Would you all like to take a load off? I have some cots that I could, well, blankets really. I could, and you could all get some rest if you'd like.
Thank you. And maybe very shortly I'm going to go find Evelyn. And he will make his way all around the Temple of Thorns, look for Evelyn, I suppose.
All right. Make a generic investigation check, Roderick, as you then turn and leave the room, and now there's just Miles, Lena, Doma,
19.
and Aniel in there. 19. As you make your way through, you're kind of thinking, where did she go? And you're looking around, and a thought beeps into your head. I remember where she was last time I saw her. And you just decide to just go that direction immediately, and you just find your way past the root bridge. You make a left from your perspective. You find the doorway that leads up to, or hallway that leads up to the stairs that switch back. You go up it, and then there you see Evelyn. Currently, her back is to you right now. She's got her her sketchbook out at the moment, and she has a writing utensil in her hands. Whether she's actually drawing or not, you know, she's gone to the precipice of being prepared to do it. Whether she actually has the inspiration or not is up to her at the moment.
All right, so Roger wants to slowly come behind her, reach his arm around her and whisper in her ear, "Hello, beautiful. Anything on your mind?" I mean, hello, beautiful. Is there something on your mind?
She's just staring at the tree. She just looks up at you and she just looks devastated. That's not how this was supposed to.
Don't dwell on it, or too much at least. I know this isn't the ideal situation to be in, but at least we made it through.
For now.
Yeah, for now. But we can only take things one step at a time, right?
It was a foolish thing to do.
Beyond. So I guess we are the new kids that came in and usurped the king.
I just don't know what my mom will think of me.
I'm sure she'll understand.
And she looks up at you. And what if she doesn't?
And he'd hug her a little tighter. She will. She will.
She just leans into you. And just cries a little.
We're gonna chill like this for a little bit.
Sure.
Go
No,
ahead.
I actually picked it up. You're good. You don't have to always say end scene.
Oh, not
end scene.
And scene.
Fade to black.
Scene. All right. So, the two of you having that moment, she kind of like just accepts it, but weeping slightly. Back to the vault. A call. There you are. I think still with Doma, Aniel, and Captain Miles and Lena.
Yep.
Is there anything that Doma, a call, either of you would like to do at the moment?
Yep. I don't know what a call's doing. Daniel, do you want to go sit by the tree? You said being near something that's holy might help a little, right?
Like there's kind of like this almost look like she's almost like faded out of conscious for a moment. Her eyes like kind of like roll back to her, like, and she like blinks a couple times. She looks at you. I'm sorry, what?
I pick her up. And carry her.
Just off her feet. What are you doing? There's like ways of her plus.
It's gonna be fine. Just let me take the lead for a bit. You seem tired.
Captain Miles just kind of takes a step to the side, giving you enough space to walk down there, and then they see you. Like the three of them in the rest of the room, they just see you leave with Aniel and your arms now as you scoop her off her feet and head towards the tree or back towards the water. We're assuming that's what you're doing. I think. Yeah. What's this about, Doma? I can walk. I'm not that.
I know you can walk, but I need you to save your strength. You said being near something holy would help you, right?
Something near my patron. Well,
Does it have to be
matron
yours?
would be helpful.
If something else is willing to help, would that work?
You see, like she's in thought about it. I don't know. I'm okay, really. I just need to rest.
Daniel, I know you're not okay. You keep getting worse. As much as you try and hide it, I'm still worried about it. And I need to do something to try and help besides make your feathers look a little nicer for a bit.
What do you have in mind?
A swim.
It's like at this point you're like making your way over the roots, and she like looks down towards the water. I don't.
Don't worry, I'm not just gonna drop you in.
You're not gonna let me say no, are you?
Not really.
There's like a sour look on her face just for a brief moment, and she just realizes she can't object at all. Like there's no way out of it. And then there's a slight sigh. All right, I mean, if you'd like me to. Yeah, funny potato. Annual drowns. End scene.
Fuck you, potato.
All right. So, you make your way over towards on the side of the tree where there's a large amount of enough of a dense enough roots you can stand upon, and then if she is still like in your arms, at the moment, do you wade out into the waters?
I gently put her down beside me, but I keep one of her arms over my shoulder.
Okay, so she basically like you put her on her feet, but you slump her so her armpit is.
So I'm still keeping her up, yeah.
Okay. And so after this like little exchange, you put her down on her feet, and she stands. There's a little wobble for a moment, but then you kind of help set her, brace her, and then you kind of lead her into the cold waters. And as you take steps in, they're cold waters. They're very cool.
It's not about it being cold. It's water.
But as you touch the water with your feet, and you feel the water flood in past your boots into to touch your skin, and that cold sensation runs up your back, past your butt, up your spine. You suddenly feel this sense of serenity calm you out of anywhere, and it actually you stop like completely, and then for a brief moment you feel like you heard something. And you like look around the room. You didn't know exactly what it was, like almost like a whisper. And you like turn around looking for someone inside the room you're in. And Aniel, then your eyes meet Aniel's, and she has a very perplexed look at you. Is everything okay?
Just feel really calm all of a sudden. Thought I heard something. No, usually I'm not very good with deep water. Once he takes another step out. But right now, I'm not really scared of it.
And she then like follows you, and she now like up to her hips basically in the water with you. And she just stands there for a moment, not sure what else you would really want at this situation. I don't really want to, get...
Swim. I understand.
Yeah. Maybe just sit
From here?
here on these...
Sure.
So then there's a small little arrangement of basically finding a root that is submerged enough where she can sit on it and have a fair amount of water per your request, but not have her like breathing in water at her neck, right? It's like her upper torso is still above the water.
Yeah, she doesn't have to swim.
Right. And so then you guys find a spot on a branch or a root that accommodates this, and you can stay in the water yourself, or you can be on land near her.
I'll be in it with her.
Okay. I'm concerned about you too.
Are you?
Of course.
What's got you so concerned?
Are you... Make a persuasion roll.
Okay. Oof. It's a low roll, but +8. 14.
Are well, just look at you. You're all gruffed up, pretty bad. And you actually like stare down at yourself, and you see like this blood all over your armor, and cut marks across your body, and then that reminds you of the pain after like you stare down at it, and you're like,
Ouch.
and suddenly it starts stinging all over the place. Like, yes, the lingering effects of
that.
battle.
As tired as I am from that fight, I think I'm going to be alright. As long as you're here. Now, why don't we try and get in touch with someone and see if they can do something about you?
What do you mean?
Well, you might follow someone else, but this is kind of my home territory, yeah? Let's see if he's willing to help.
I'm not sure what you plan on doing, or
Asking. Now, if I use a divine sense, does it, I open myself up to all this stuff, does it feel all the way out here?
you want to use a divine sense to find out? I can't tell you in advance. So,
Yeah, it's gone.
you trigger a divine sense. There is consecrated ground all around you, all upon your person, and you see it upon her. You feel it like off of her too. You feel the water is blessed to some degree, and the vibrance, the intensity of this is way more potent than the last time you were in this temple. And you immediately recognize that essence is what's causing the tranquility that you're experiencing at the moment from the waters. As if it's almost like you are an injured child, and then just being embraced and your parents' hug helps soothe you. You feel that level of like this, almost like a bond of parentalship or something like that just makes you feel very tranquil, and you just connect the dots that there's something at play here that's aiding you at this moment. And then as you reach out with your thoughts into this pool of water that just, it descends down for feet and feet past that darkness, there it is again, that whisper, just for a brief moment. But it's like you're just catching the last nanosecond of it, almost like if the exhale as they're like done talking to you. And then there's this feeling in the back of your head, like there's pressure, but not like physical pain or anything like that. Like actually in your mind, as if there's a thought blossoming or seeding out. And as you think about that and push everything else out of view for a moment, an image appears in your mind. An image of a small little seed that looks so familiar to you. As you see it form itself and shape itself, you recognize it. This is the seed that you got in the occurrence with you and Lance. And you get a vision in front of you. As you see this seed, you look at suddenly your hand is now, the seed is in the palm of your hand, and you see yourself materialize in front of you, and you see yourself walking forward. And as you're walking forward, you see the ruins of a civilization around you. Giant temples that look kind of Mayan or Aztec in design. But they don't look like the temples inside the mines themselves. Not like, those ones seemed alien. These ones seem like a civilization. You see damage upon them. You see hieroglyphs, but you can't quite make out what they are. The vision's just a little too blurry at this moment. And you just see a large sprawl of forest overcoming the civilization around you. But it's very dark. It's very, very dark. There doesn't seem like there's any light around you. Only the bare minimum of what you can see. You're not really seeing a large amount of color. It just seems very muted. but you keep walking forward, and as you walk forward, you suddenly find yourself almost like a very rapid dream. Like you're just kind of getting glimpses of thoughts, and you just can feel like you're moving forward, and you suddenly find yourself now in the center of a very large temple on terrace, the very top of one of these potential temples. And in the very center of this terrace, you see a archway, several archways and columns that were up. Some of the columns have fallen down to the side, and the arch that they were supported off of has crumbled too. But there's a network, almost kind of like an aqueduct of sorts, of something that was there previously, and part of it's still standing and part of it's not. And right in the middle of this terrace, you see a large tree. And in that tree, there in front of you, is the very familiar visage of what you believe is the mortal attempt at Marlesh. Another tree of Marlesh stands in front of you, and then you look back at your hand and you see that seed, and that seed kind of has a warmth to it, a glow to it. And you see there is hands in the tree of Marlesh. I forgot. Yes, the tree of Marlesh has hands cupped forward in front of it as it looks up there. And so then you see these hands cupped in front of it, and you feel this urge that you need to put that seed there. And then you look back down at the seed, and as you look back down at the seed, you're now back where you were with Aniel in the water for a moment. Your divine sense fades. You blink your eyes a few times, and you're like, wait, what?
Wow, that was interesting.
Are you okay? You
I think so.
Zoned out there.
Gotta say, that's the first time that's ever happened. He reaches into his pocket and pulls out the seed, looking at it.
Didn't you put it in your bag?
Did I?
I think you
Bag,
did.
pocket? Pull it out of the bag.
Okay, I'm not terribly different, but I think you probably put it in your bag and it's a little bit safer, maybe. All right. As you pull the seed out, there it is, just in your hand. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Put your -1 wisdom.
8.
8. It sits there, restless in your, unmoving in your hand. There's nothing you feel out of it at the moment. Just there it is. You recognize it's there.
So much to think about.
All right. So then a call back with you in the vault. Lena eyes Captain Miles. I'm sorry, I don't really know your name. You just kind of... Oh, right. I'm Miles. Visitor Miles, from the captain of Hammerhold. It's the stronghold that is in front of the Grey Gate to prevent any would-be invasion when it was made. And I'm the one in charge of that at the moment. Miles, then, you came here because... Oh, yeah, I was sent by the Three Hammers to make sure nothing bad happens, and, bad things happen, so, woo! But, can't do anything about that spilled milk at this point, right? And she provides a wink. Oh, right. And you, sir? You are...
I am a Carl. I am from the other side of the mine as well. Do your people know about the tabaxi?
Do I know... Well, I've heard of humanoids, and she's kind of trying to look at you from different angles, like she's changing her altitude just a little bit with her head. I've never met one. So you're called a tabaxi?
That is what our people are named, yes.
How do you like Medan so far?
It is spacious. Quite empty though, I must say. more of a personal question, this, but has this tree always been here?
As long as the temple's been here, yes.
Interesting.
The tree of Marlesh. Its roots spread out to the other planes and keep them where they are. A gift, you could say, from Marlesh himself. Because without it, there would be... And she just trails off.
Right.
Where do you come from?
Well, my people, we originate from Kualtaj, but
Sorry.
currently we made our home amongst what the dwarves called the Petrified Forest. It is a harsh place, but we survive. Well, many things have happened today, and I assume that the others are taking a rest, so mayhaps we should as well, Captain Miles, yes?
Ah, right. For sure. I mean, I got a little bit bruised up back then myself. Well, let's go. Yeah, Catman, as it were. And she starts making her way towards the exit. Do you follow?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow, just nodding to what I assume would be the priestess of this temple.
Mm-hmm. As you take point, you hear Alina just before you leave. Nice to meet you. Miss Miles, if you would hang back just for a moment, that's a couple questions I have. Of course. I'll see you up there. She nods to you. It calls. She then heads back, and you hear them kind of forming a little conversation as you continue your way out.
Mhm.
All right.
I would just look for a nice little place to sit down, relax, maybe go to sleep.
Okay. You find several places that you could go. As you make your way back, you see off to the side, you see with your ungodly perception, you see Aniel like half submerged in water, and there's Doma kind of still standing in. Like they're at this point, this would basically be where Doma. It's been like maybe 10 seconds or so after Doma has kind of lost his vision, basically, and it looks like they're kind of conversing. They're having a moment. Your ears just twitch for a brief moment as you hear kind of conversation. Or is that weeping? And you look up and you see on the balcony there is Roderick and Evelyn, and it looks like that Roderick's got one arm around Evelyn, and he's like kind of tilting her towards him, and her head's kind of just slouched towards his shoulder at the moment. And you kind of hear like sniffling. You also as you kind of continue your way towards the tree, you also hear a little bit of conversation from the residents that are out there. But it's quiet enough that you feel that you could find a spot that's accommodating, for sure, to get some rest. Yeah. And
if possible, one just where I can like look at the tree as well when I go to sleep.
Yep. And so unlike everyone else, you see the root-like pews, and you just go, that's good enough, and you just kind of
perfect.
Curl out on like a whole pew for yourself, laying down. You look towards the tree, and like a cat that's right in a nice fresh sunbeam coming through the window, you find yourself falling asleep pretty quickly.
Wait a minute. Are these pews the size of like for dwarves?
Well, they're about they're like 2 feet tall. Like they're 2 feet off the ground, right? Or so.
Oh,
so
right.
So you can still sit on it.
Okay.
It's slightly elevated off the ground in comparison, but they're just as long and wide as a pew would be for like almost any establishment, because dwarves are still as width as a humanoid. They just have shorter legs, right? So.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else anyone wants to do? All right.
I think that's everybody.
Okay.
I call Red the Moon not to interrupt the
Omens.
So with that in mind, you guys would eventually, at some point, get some sleep and wake up. So long rest has been accomplished. It's the next day. Half your spell slot, all your spell slots restored, your magical items reset, half your hit dice come back. All the goodies of a long rest have been fulfilled. There's a little bit of tension that's left with all of you, as you're still this like unknowingness around. Whether you guys gather, all of you come back together and regroup, or you kind of just continue kind of split off into your own devices. You eat breakfast. Lena seems to have a presence of her. She's trying to be supportive to you, but you get the notion that she's, kind of trying to force it. You can tell that there's anxiety on her as well, as she's uncertain what's about to happen. No Darvis is apparent at all this morning. No one's seen. None of you have seen him. And so right now, I would just assume that you guys are kind of spread off into your own separate little group still. Of which, if anyone wants to do anything, you're free to do such.
Roderick would enter his hand into the king's pouch. The king's inside.
King's pouch, yeah, all right. You open it up. There's like a small little like string that is wrapped around it. As you untie it to look inside the pouch, you see a large assortment of gems and coin. Huge amount of it stuffed into that pouch.
Oh wow. Oh wow. You would close that back up for now.
Sure. So you just redraw the string, close it back up. There's kind of like a heaviness to it. It feels like, it's probably in the ballpark of like 5+ pounds of just coin in a little sack there. As you look through, you definitely saw platinum and gold, a large abundance of both in there.
All right. So what did I do with? What do we do with that? Because I do see that there's supposed to be some. Never mind. Hold on.
Think it through.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say I'm pretty sure I'm trying to remember where it was at. It was some leather armor, studded leather armor.
Yeah, I think I have some in the bag.
Okay. Yeah.
Why
So
do you want
this
it?
is an opportune moment for you guys to go through your inventories, go through everything, kind of remind yourself of where you are. This is your as rare as it may be for me, you technically are free at the moment. You might not be able to leave the temple, but oh my gosh, I should.
Okay. So let's. I guess we're gonna have to.
All right, just checking.
Ooh,
Is anyone else
Yes,
seeing
sir.
that? Is it? Are we still live on Twitch at the moment? Is anyone
Yeah,
else?
we're live.
Okay, good. Because my
don't
mom
know,
is
I would
unable
refresh.
to view anything apparently anymore. She's saying I'm getting a black screen and there's no sound, and I don't know what to do about it. So
You started, I guess.
Yeah, refresh the page probably.
yeah, okay. I just wanted to verify, because I checked and it looked like I was still going, but I was like, maybe I'm just lucky. You know what I mean? So all right. So we have confirmed that it's
Okay. So.
Sorry not to interrupt you. Go ahead, continue.
I don't know. All right. So I guess Roderick would meet up with Doma again. Try to gather everybody up so we can go over what we have and don't have.
I'm just
everything.
gonna follow Roderick.
All right, so Evelyn and Roderick make their way around to look for Doma, and you guys do find him. Doma, what are you currently doing in the temple at the moment?
Lay on hands.
Oh,
Are we gonna come in at the end of this or the beginning? That's my question. Oh God.
Either way. That's usually what Doma does when he first gets up now.
Okay.
Because he didn't want to keep everyone up late.
Yeah. Oh, Doma. It seems that you're just too mentally out of it at the moment, as you try to weave the magic over the lawn-like ritual, that you just can't get it to work exactly the way you want it to, and no success, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But you do have the satisfaction that you tried, and it's better to try than not to do anything, right?
All right.
Why is everyone gathering up?
Where's he call?
Call's just kind of on one of the pews, just looking at you guys, since you didn't notice him.
Whoa. All right. So I just wanted to let's just go over what we have and don't have, just in case we need to fight again, or in case we let go, just to know what we have.
Make perception checks, all of you.
Okay.
Sorry, not to interrupt your flow. I just need to notate that at this point.
Damn.
It's so bright. I'm like a vampire in the direct sunlight.
These
wow,
are great
these are
perception checks.
terrible. Oh my!
Can I use my passive perception instead?
No, it doesn't work that way. Ooh, and there's only 4 of you at the moment, so yeah. Ooh, oh boy. Okay, noted. At
At
all
the
right.
moment.
Continue, please, as if you were not aware of what was happening anyways. Go back to where you were.
All right. Oh, okay. So, all right. So, inventory checker. So, you, Roger, will take the king's pouch, and set it between everyone, and and loosen one of the strings, and kind of let everyone take a look.
All right.
Are we counting coins? Right now?
To
what you
start,
s-
yes.
Okay. I pull out 2 giant chests of coins. Or medium-sized chests. I don't remember how big they were.
Where the heck did you get
Wait,
chests?
wait.
I thought we were.
2 chests
The
of
wagon.
coins from the cart.
Yeah, from that. Yeah.
We just threw him in a bag.
Oh, son of a gun.
I think I'm gonna
What if I
forget
shit?
money.
Let's
Wayne?
go.
Oh, jeez. What did I say there was
Oh, wait,
coin?
where are we at currently again?
That's so long ago. I forget if there was actually. If
We're
I
like
had
in the middle of
coin.
a temple.
God.
It was
All right,
filled with
all right.
money, but we just
All right,
didn't have a
guys.
Yeah,
chance
you're,
to
you're
count
not
it.
in the middle of temple. You off into a corner away from the eyes of
alright.
everyone else.
Okay,
So,
okay,
you know, like
cool.
you're not gonna be like, here's all our money. Like you're just not gonna do that.
Hey, money, guys! Hey,
Please do it.
I know you guys got that 2-handed axe examined. What did it do? I didn't have my headset working then.
All right.
I don't believe they.
Oh,
were able to fully do it,
hold
though,
on.
were they?
Let me grab my notes. If I remember right, there was nothing on it, but let me look.
I thought it was magic, the 2-handed axe was.
Yeah. Something
Oh,
like that.
it
I'm
was
sorry.
a complicated enchant. It looks like it's probably plus hit and plus critical damage is what we could gather, but he wasn't quite sure. He didn't have a good feeling. Something was off about it, so we decided not to use it, and or anyone use it till we could actually identify it.
Mhm.
All right, Doma. As you open up your 2 chests, which I really can't confirm or deny at this point. I totally forget what I was intending with that because disconnect. We're just gonna say the following's in it. All right, buddy.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
You guys count out a total of 80 gold coins, followed by an additional what is this? 170 silver pieces was in that chest, basically. And
Was in both of them?
yeah, in both of them, 170 silver and 80 gold coins, and it's intermixed coins, coppers, silvers to gold, right? Like it's anything in that spectrum. So you could pretty much say, you know, what's that? 170 plus 80. Well, what is that, Alex? Come on, brain. 200. You can basically say there's 250 gold distributed amongst a various degree of coin in those chests. Okay. Which seems like a large amount for a farmer wagon. That's what you found
Okay.
there. So I don't want to hear any complaints. Got lucky in the dice rolls.
All right. Reviewing the king's pouch then,
King's pouch, yes. All right, let's go do those rolls now.
for gold specifically right now.
Do you just want the total again, or do you want gold, or just the gold by itself?
Just a gold, platinum, whatever. Just I mean.
Oh wow. Ugh. Okay. Okay. So the king had wait, really? 1,900 gold coins on it in that pouch.
Dice roll.
Sure.
I mean, I can't really challenge it. He was very, he would flaunt. I'm
Very
sure he would
wealthy.
keep that kind of coin on him. So
Maybe killing the king was a good idea, boy.
And as far as the platinum goes, all right, here we go.
Oh, we haven't even done the
Oh boy,
platinum.
yeah.
That was just the gold. That was just the gold. Platinum wise, not as ludicrous. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's 110 platinum, which is still basically another 1,000 gold. But
Holy
Oh, wow.
shit!
yeah, suddenly you guys got very rich, very quick. Holy crap! That's not a
World-changing
problem.
event.
This is
So-
what happens when you kill kings, I
Kill,
guess.
kill kings and
All
loot
right,
their bodies
so-
before the guards stop you.
You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
Oh jeez. All right. Anyways, moving on.
All right.
Bloody hell.
It seems
Okay,
we can go
King
shopping after
Slayer.
this. Now, there were some gems in here.
Yes.
Am I adding all this together,
There
guys,
are
into the
there are
pouch?
gems. There is a.
Am I adding this all together, or did you guys want to split it up?
DTW already has it written down.
Okay.
So
We can split it a little
All
later.
right, so far as you
Yeah.
see that there would be there's 4 rubies in there. There are I could just roll. I have varying dice. Why don't I do this? Oh yeah, let's throw let's put one of those in there. Okay, 2 opals. There's 4 diamonds and 1 emerald. And it's not like they're just
You
like
read
they're not like they're just raw gems. It's like jewelry and the like, right? They're
How
just,
big are these diamonds?
you're trying to appraise them? Is that what you're trying to
Yep.
do there?
300 gold worth. Is that what you're looking for?
You're reading my mind here, girl.
So, with your expertise in the jewels here, you think the diamonds are probably the diamonds. There's like the rings or necklaces, right? So the total a piece of jewelry, it looks like they're in the range of anywhere from 300 to potentially 600 gold a pop. It's about 500 a piece is what you're looking at for those items, the diamonds. Which definitely seem, from your expertise, Doma, they seem to be the most valuable items in this list. Of the jewels, they seem to be the most expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So
Al's
With
just over
this-
there reading my mind.
with this, along with what we have already for gold, do we want to split? Should we split it up? That
I think
way.
we should. Because I think it'd be better to have it spread out.
All right.
Okay.
Doma, how much
Process.
gold is in the bag of holding now?
In total. Plus the stuff from the chest, because I already added it.
Wait for the new character.
Oh my god.
All right. Don't add anything else. All right. Plus the
Jesus.
chest. Plus the chest.
Sorry, guys. In the bag, party money currently has 96 copper, 74 silver, 3,774 gold, and 137 platinum.
What?
Hmm.
What?
I thought you had more platinum than that because didn't you?
I think we had more plat.
Didn't you loot a
I
bunch of
think we
platinum
spent a
from-
bunch of it, didn't we?
Didn't you loot up?
Where? Where have we been able to spend any money?
We didn't. Maybe.
In Karat. We bought a bag of holding.
That's
We
true.
did.
Yeah, and
Mhm,
that's
right,
where your
yeah.
platinum was. Yes, your platinum was spent in the bag of holding. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're
Alright,
right.
so,
You're right.
To remind everyone, even the viewers.
We traded and then gave some coin for it, right, or
Yeah,
something
you-
like
you
that.
didn't-
We
you
traded
didn't-
for it too,
I don't
right?
think you found any platinum really in the room with Sarath's.
No, it's just a fuck ton of gold.
Yeah, because those are soldiers. They're not going
Right.
to trade platinum on them. But you did find platinum in the manor inside Stone's Rest.
Yeah.
And so that's
Just accidentally dropped that hammer.
right. And so then you guys spent that on the bag of holding. So yes, it makes sense. Okay, I'm sorry, I completely forgot where you got the platinum. I'm like, didn't they get platinum in Sarath's fight? Nope, they didn't. It makes sense now. I remember now. It took a while. That darn 4
So
month disconnect.
what is our grand total? Grand total?
Yeah, can you please
Grand
post it
total.
and save it?
Yeah,
post
I
it?
only
Oh,
I
you can
only
post it.
added the stuff from the chest because you guys told me not to add the rest of it.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
was
stuff from the
250
chest.
gold, basically, is what it summed up to be
That's it. Oh, okay.
from the
Yeah,
chest.
you dropped the silver, yeah.
But in
96
total,
copper, 74 silver, 3,774 gold, 137 platinum.
Okay.
All right.
So the total amount of gold you have is what? Like, make that platinum times that's platinum by 10. How much total coin do you
Oh
have?
fuck! I'm doing it all together.
I just want to know how much gold you have. Can you just say I have blank amount of gold for me? Is that possible? Can you do the math? Not that hard. Oh my god.
That's like
I just want to know how much money you
gold.
have. So when
Yeah.
51.44 is what Potato telling us.
5,100.
Yeah, that's correct.
I
That's
trust
gold.
Potato.
5,100. All
Alright,
right,
that's
good.
the-
That's how much.
that's
That's
all
how
in there, yeah.
devastating it's gonna be when a thief steals it all. Got it.
Yeah.
That's
the
why
amount
we
of
need to.
gold we
That's
have,
why
yeah.
we need to split it up amongst us so that someone can't
Quickly,
just yank
yeah, I mean-
everything out of us.
Quick, buy more bags of holding.
Well, when we get up above here, maybe, possibly.
All right.
Okay, I think it should be 8,114 gold total, roughly then.
Wait, what? Oh, plus the other shit.
With the other stuff.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
other
and then
stuff.
the
What do you mean?
70
Where'd
So-
that number come from?
Yeah,
and
no,
the 74
that
silver
adds
and
up.
All right. So
copper.
moving on our characters. Moving on.
So
you guys are here counting.
divide
these-
that by.
Oh, go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
We're just gonna divide it out, right?
Are we trying to like portion out so everyone has gold, or are we trying to divide it evenly?
If you try and give some to a call, he's going to decline. He already has enough to buy food and whatnot.
All right,
That's
so
it. Someone put a platinum in his pouch when he's not looking.
yeah, pretty much. All right,
Problem is he's
so
always-
that's what. Niel, would you like some gold as well?
As you make that statement, you recognize that she's actually dozed off. As you guys were,
Like, you guys
like
are-
she was trying to help count, but like counting coin is like counting sheep, and she just is like now is kind of slumped off. Like she's like leaning against the wall nearby, and you see like a little bit of drool coming out the side of her lip as she seems to be sleeping. There's a small little pile of coins in front of her, like she was starting to stack them into like stacks of 10 apiece, and then she got about 5 of them before she fell asleep.
All right, so I guess do it 3 ways for the most part then.
Sure.
All right.
Just
so
tell me what I'm putting in my pouch.
Because you can't do math.
Yep.
For convenience sake, you don't even need to know the exact amount of coin it is specifically. You can just do the total of it as in gold, and then you can distribute it. And I'm aware.
It's 20. It's 2704.
Yeah, okay.
Write it down.
So go
Okay,
ahead
so I'm
and-
writing that down. I can delete the rest of the party money from my bag.
You're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, that'll be
Okay.
your money.
And then we
It's
still have the
gone.
jewels and stuff, so.
The jewels need to be kept separately, right? Because some
Yeah.
of those are reagents for spells. So, unfortunately, and some of them for gems that probably don't
Party
even
money deleted.
Okay, so as you guys are, counting your coin and being Scrooge McDuck, you kind of like divide it up, give it out to people. That wow, because of the Scrooge comment, really?
I know, right?
No, like that's a lot of money.
Oh,
yeah, for each
yeah.
one of us, just 2,000 gold. It's fine. Almost 3.
You'll get gold. You'll get gold.
I'm like, I'm just sitting here going, I don't think I've ever had this much money on any of the characters I've ever played,
Yeah,
ever.
You've gotten a lot of influx recently. I got it. All right.
All right, so Roger could immediately try to put this pouch close to his
And a
heart.
shady salesman suddenly appears.
So
Would you
Roderick,
like to see what's in my coat?
Roderick, as you're like, kind of
had
putting,
sit down.
like, you're kind of scooping the coin back to like put in your bag, right? You just see every now and then a small coin just float in the air, make its way over there, and put itself into your bag for you, and then suddenly another one slowly comes over and floats itself into your bag as a small little assembly line of something helping you occasionally.
Thanks, Krista.
That reminds me, Laris, there's leaves on this tree, right?
You look up towards the tree. Yeah, there's a few leaves that are they look like they're mid-spring. Like it's kind of like some of them are partial buds still, and then others have blossomed into full leaves. So there are some full leaves there.
Okay. I walk up to the tree and I take one and I say a small prayer. Sorry for stealing a leaf, but it's for friendship.
Yeah, okay. You walk up to the tree, and as you put your hand against the tree, and then like reach up to grab a leaf, take a leaf, and then you have a leaf in your hand.
I walk over to Roderick and I lean next to him. kind of whisper quietly, "Where's Krista?"
And Roderick would look towards a coin that's floating in the air. Towards the
Dumb, you just see a coin.
the
Like you're
pouch.
just so terrible at perception, but clearly, like Roger just points his finger towards this floating coin, and he just kind of traces it, and the coin moves towards his pouch. Boop, and you hear kind of like a rustle, and then suddenly you kind of hear like a. And suddenly, another coin slowly makes its way up in the air and starts floating over.
Hey, Krista, if it's not too much trouble, I have a present for you.
Kind of busy at the moment doing work. You know, kind of. Oh, these are heavy. And then there's like the coin that's like kind of dips for a brief moment, and suddenly it slowly like hovers its way back up.
You can take a break if you'd like. Thank you.
Whew. You hear something on your
And then
shoulder.
Driver.
Roderick would open up the king's pouch and kind of use his arm to scoop it all in there.
Yeah. All right. So suddenly a Krista appears on Roderick's shoulder. She deactivates her invisibility spell, and then you see this little small sprite that's in the range of 6 to 8 inches tall. She's kind of resting on his shoulder at the moment. And there's this bright red hair, very gleeful expression across her face. And she's just looking at you, and there's this sheen to her eyes, like, present for me?
Listen, Krista, I know it's a little late, but they're pretty hard to find down here, and you already have a fabulous outfit. But I give her the.
And she looks down the outfit that Evelyn made for her, and she kind of stands up for a moment, does a little twirl. It's so pretty.
It really is. So
Evelyn
it's
did a
little
really
late,
good job on this.
but here's your leaf. Then I give her the leaf.
Ooh, and she waves it around her in front of her face. This is a good leaf. Where'd you get it?
Someone I know very well lent it to me, and I hope it makes a good present for you.
Okay. Okay. And she lifts it up. A little bit bigger than she is, and she's kind of struggling for a brief moment, and then suddenly appears in the air. And then she places it down on top of Roderick's shoulder, and then she sits down on top of it, laying on it. And like a bobsled, she then kind of mushes herself a little bit forward, and suddenly the leaf slides down Roderick's shoulder like it's down his arm. She screams in a little high-pitched noise, and suddenly she flies right off. She gets she's a good 6 or 7 feet off the ground at this point, and then her little wings beat really heavily. She kind of then glides through the air. Evelyn, make a perception check.
Ooh.
21.
All right, so Evelyn, as you're kind of looting your bag, suddenly you hear the little high pitch, woo! And then you turn to your side and you see her trajectory is coming right towards your face. You can respond in kind because you actually rolled high enough not to get pelted by a fairy riding a leaf.
I shield?
Oh, jeez. All right, so instinctively, Evelyn just she drops her coin, she puts her hand up, and she casts shield, and you just suddenly see a little sprite hitting a windshield on a car. Face goes against it, and she kind of slowly slides down it for a brief moment. After 6 seconds, the shield dissipates, and then she just plummets. And she falls. You catch her in your hands.
Oh my god.
She's rubbing her cheek. It looks all really red and it's kind of smushed. Oh, ow.
I hold her up. Are you okay?
Oh, what happened? And she's looking around.
It was instinct. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, maybe next time you can just catch me.
Yeah, probably. I'll do that. I prestidigitation and just kind of clean her up and. You okay? Are you sure?
Yeah. Where'd my? And she's looking for something.
Oh, here it is. And I pick up the leaf and I hand it back.
She kind of grabs it and she kind of hugs it close, tries to hug it tight to her, and it's bigger than she is, and it's in her face.
You gotta be careful though, okay? Ooh.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Noma.
No problem, Krista.
I set her back on Roderick's shoulder.
She kind of like gives you a little wave, and she kind of just basically is like hugging this leaf. Seems to be infatuated with it.
I'm so sorry.
For round 2 anytime soon.
All right. At this moment, you
Oh,
guys-
wait. I give Doma. I give Doma that chainmail unknown metal.
Oh, I put it on.
he just puts it on
Doma.
over his current armor.
No.
Yeah.
Like a kid that's in Minnesota during winter. He's got multiple
He's
layers
like,
of armor on.
It's chilly out there.
I might be loud, but I am well protected.
All right, so you
Doma, do you
grab
have-
you
is there
grab
any
this
armor,
grab this
extra spare armor?
chainmail. You're not sure what it does. You just see the chainmail. Roderick hands it to you. Here, chainmail. You just want to take your current armor off and put it on.
Thanks. What is
Yeah.
it?
Armor, chainmail, of course. Don't ask me what the metal is. It's not enchanted, so that's a good thing. You don't have to worry about getting,
What color is
over
the
again.
metal?
Color is the metal. It's a almost white. It's a brilliant like sheen to it. It's way
Like
shinier
fuck-
than what you expect.
That's off my color scheme a little bit.
Mm.
Is it?
Doesn't match my
Are you
green
really
boots.
worried about that?
It does,
Are you really
I
worried
mean-
about that?
Wow.
No, this is amazing.
And the man who just attacked someone.
Yeah. Is there
You
any?
may die.
Is there any leather armor we have in the bag?
Yeah. I have studded leather armor, not magic.
Ooh. Let me have that, please, if you don't mind.
I pull it out of the bag.
That's
Here you go, man.
Thank you. And I take off the current leather armor and pass it back to him to place in the bag.
Okay, so now you're
And
wearing
throw in the
studded leather
studded.
armor now instead.
Yeah.
So now I just put leather armor in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave you
Yes.
normal leather armor, and he now has studded leather armor. All right, Doma. So this chainmail, you want to put it on?
Yes, please.
All right. So make a perception check.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Couldn't have done that.
13.
So as you're kind of moving this chainmail in your hands, like
Is it
looking
talking
at
to
it
me?
and examining it and examining it,
Um,
you notice something about this chainmail. There's an interesting quality to that. As it kind of like as you kind of jingle it, you kind of put your ear up to it, and it's way muter than your current chainmail. Like it doesn't make a
What?
large amount of noise. It's very quiet. Like,
you
pull it
kidding me,
away.
right?
You kind of look at it again. You kind of like violently shake it, and when you violently shake it, it does make
You
noise.
Lucky duck.
But nothing that seems to be in the nature of what your current chainmail. You kind of just like flick one of just run your finger against your current chainmail, and it's like, but you kind of do the same against this, and it's just very mute. And like, that's interesting.
That's neat.
You're no longer a walking siren.
I no longer give away the entire group to creatures that eat them.
Right?
Yay.
Roderick won't get eaten next time we go to them.
You get the notion that what this is made out of is some kind of durable metal that's probably really rare, but is flexible enough to kind of avoid that cleaning.
Dang.
And you kind of go,
Damn.
what kind of metal makes that? And unfortunately, you're a jewel crafter, so you really wouldn't know. So
That works with a lot of metal, especially the rarer stuff.
So we're just gonna. So it's.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's some kind of interesting material. Let's just leave it at that.
Can I
Alright.
go visit Becca at some point? She'll know what this shit
else?
does.
So you take off your current chainmail and you put this on instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
so
yep.
It functions exactly the same as chainmail. It's 16 base AC. It just you have no disadvantage on stealth checks while you're wearing it. So it's just your normal.
Very
stealth check.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes.
So I should just
So
write
those
down.
scrolls. Wait, for the scrolls, do you have to? Can anyone use them, or is it only the arcane?
So you have to have arcane knowledge.
So, reviewing this, it's possible for anyone to cast it. Really, honestly, almost anyone can use the scroll. What's just the reality of it? The magic was cast in a scroll. When you use it and you read the rites on it, like the opening part of it, it activates it and it casts it. So you don't need to be an arcane person to do it. Actually,
You just have to read the language.
you just gotta be you gotta be able to understand what it's. I mean, you have to be able to read the language. Yes. So people that are familiar with magic are way more or the arcane are way more likely to succeed at it. But standard game sense, just to break the game sense here, is that anyone can read a scroll. A barbarian can read a scroll and have it cast a spell because it's the scroll that's pretty much doing the spell.
Okay. Yeah.
But things that
Yeah.
require concentration will
There's
require your own
scrolls.
concentration to make it succeed.
So we have 3 scrolls that you can use. How do you think we should kind of use that? Because I know
I don't know. What do we get?
one. Actually, can you take them all out?
I pull them all out.
All right. So detect magic, or do I? Whatever.
You've already done it. You cast detect magic, Constitution saving throw.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
5.
5. Yeah, you just immediately throw up.
Back to this again.
Fuck.
Right in front of everyone.
All
So like
right,
Roger
I
waves
end
waves his hand for a brief moment, and then just and then a little bit of all comes out of his lips, and he kind of puts his hand over his mouth, hoping no one saw, but you see kind of just oozing out of his hand, and he kind of shakes his hand a little bit.
He'll step aside and kind of get that taken care of.
Velma, you recognize that he
Prestidigitation
was trying to cast detect magic, which you know you can do it. He can't.
All right. Once Roger cleans himself up, he comes back and was like, "All right, forget that." He'll just read over the scrolls and because he remembers one of them was supposed to cast levitate, another for self, and the last one was for greater restoration.
Yeah, I think that's right. An alter self, a levitate, and a greater restoration, as I think.
That's correct.
Yeah. So.
All right. So let's see. Who's most likely to sink? Doma.
You know what?
You take the levitate. I pass him the scroll for cast levitate.
All right, so
Okay.
Scroll is handed to you. It's got a bunch of mumbo jumbo on it, but you go, all right, I could probably read this and cast levitate. Use it when I need it.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
make
cool.
sure you
Levitate.
All right. So let's see. Who's a alter self?
Make sure you add this to your inventory, Doma. I don't want to hear about like I forgot I had it.
All right. This one I'm kind of stuck on. Evelyn, what do you think?
For what?
The
what?
scroll for alter self.
Well, the only one that of us that,
I mean, on the surface, only. Well, actually, there's 3
As you
of
guys are
us.
having this conversation, you hear a small commotion coming from the front of the temple. And like some of you that have eye shot, you like look over there and you see a couple guards up there, up front at the moment, and they're talking with some people. And one person just like leaves the group and runs down the center as they run towards the tree at this exact moment.
Shit.
we'll figure it out later. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
Roger just hand the alter self to Call and the other one to Evelyn.
What do I do?
And
with
stand
this?
up. You read it out loud when if you need to change something. We'll talk a bit more. Arizona.
Right.
All right. So
Guess we start shoving things back in the bag.
you haven't done that already?
Oh yeah. Do it.
I call it catnapping.
Is there anything else you guys want to do before you?
Did anyone around here have this thing that lets you check magic? I still have an item that we never checked.
You need to
Identify?
identify it.
I do not.
I'm not able to use that. You have the gems, though, right, Doma?
Yeah, I wrote them all down.
I'm saying, do you have them in the bag?
I
You're
do
our
now.
jewel crafter, so.
Yeah, they're in the bag.
Cool.
If you ever want
keep
something
these, keep
cool
these
made,
4
just
arrows.
ask.
Keep these 4 arrows I have as well. You want to go see what's going on?
Okay.
So Doma, you've
Yeah,
been
they're
given.
all +1 arrows.
Yeah, so you were given arrows of +1, Doma. So when you use that
Exactly
arrow specifically, it counts as like a +1 enchant. Just FYI. They're arrows,
All right.
not crossbolts. Arrows.
Yeah.
Need to be
So
used
you're
with
telling me I can't shoot these?
You need a bow and arrow. A
Need a
bow.
bow.
Sorry.
You need a bow to shoot arrows.
To shoot arrows. Yeah.
That's how the world works.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Oh yeah, before
Maybe if I just trim them a little bit, they'll
Oh shit.
That probably will ruin
Jesus.
the enchant.
And destroy the enchant.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Oops.
If only Duro was there, he would go, "Oh yeah," but he's not.
Right?
I can hit that shot.
I can definitely hit that shot now.
I can definitely hit that shot.
Snipe.
All right. So
Roger
anything
the
else?
pass.
Anyone else?
The potion of climbing to recall.
He doesn't need that.
Did you see me backflipping on the
climb.
magical construct?
Well,
Keep it
first
for
off,
yourself.
you're gonna. He's the only one that's gonna be climbing on stuff like that. Think about it.
Keep it for. What if one of us was squishing
All right,
balloons
fine,
to get
fine.
it off
All
the
right,
ground?
all right. Okay.
All right. So
Never mind.
Jesus.
Let's
Go to
not
the front.
keep that in his pocket.
All right.
the elixir of health. I think someone got. Did you guys talk about that?
Yes.
I have that in my bag. Does
Cures,
anyone want it?
curses, diseases, blindness, poisoning, deafening, paralyzed.
Good God.
Someone want that?
Repeat. What did it heal?
Cures, curses, diseases, blindness, deafness, poison, and paralyzed.
Basically, a lesser restoration.
It's
Right?
basically a lesser
Okay.
restoration in a bottle.
Lesser
Give it-
restoration
Give
in
it
a
to
bottle.
Roderick. Give it to Roderick.
Why are you
Sure.
giving it to me?
'Cause maybe you will have to. I don't know.
It's gonna go on
Heal
someone,
someone.
buddy. Someone's gonna
Remember,
get
I'm
it.
the one that gets hit all the time. It's okay.
Yep.
It's better if you have it.
By the way, I know there was a description given for the blood gem. What was that?
Yeah, well, we'll get to there. Let's try to expedite this here. All right, so
Okay, all right. I'll take the potion of
All right,
the
so
elixir.
you
Okay.
have the elixir of health. All right, so we have the spell scroll levitate was on a call. The all wait,
No,
I have the altar self, and that's
levitate
it.
is
altar
yeah.
itself is on you. It levitates on Doma. All right. Set of leather armor was given to Roderick. The +4 arrows were given to Doma. The the metal I can't describe chainmail was given to Doma. But it's really
Put it on.
he put it
Yeah, I
on.
put it on.
Yeah, and so it's we've already talked about that.
I'm
the
sneaky again, guys.
The circlet that you guys got, you're keeping at yourself, right,
Roderick
Roderick?
has it on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have that
Okay.
on.
Don't forget that does not use your modifiers. It uses the modifiers on the item.
He looks so pretty with his circlet.
Modifiers for the what again?
The chance to hit with it. It lets you cast
Yeah,
Scorch
it's
and Ray.
just +5.
It's a +5, yes. So it's not as strong as you casting normally, but if you need fire damage for some reason, that's a really good option for you there.
That's it. That's all we had, right?
No, because then what about the healing consumables you got, right? So
We already did with those, didn't we?
I see that you. Well, I don't know if you did. So
I have 2 health pots.
it looks
So
like
I
a
got-
normal.
I
It
think we
looks like
did.
you guys got 1 normal healing potion and then I think 4 greater healing potions.
right.
think. And I know
we had
some of
4
them got-
greater.
Some of them got consumed, which I think you used one to save.
One was
Grace.
consumed because I had one on me. No, I had a regular. We never divvied the graders.
So
We have 4 graders still.
I don't know if
I
this was
regular's
changed,
gone.
but from my character sheet from when I last played, it says 3 health potions on it. I'm not sure if I had 3 or if it was like 3 from the group.
I think we may have used them now.
I still have 2. I don't.
Okay, so I give
I don't
a.
have any.
So let's divvy up the 4 graders. Who wants a
Pretty
greater
sure we
health
used
potion?
a greater in the last fight, the keen fight.
I used Roderick used a lesser. So
I had
I'm
a
gonna
I
get
had
that
a I
down
had
now.
a regular health potion, not a
I
greater.
didn't use a
used.
potion.
Alright,
So
well,
we didn't use any of the
I
graders
guess I'll
in that fight.
rewatch last episode and we'll find out if there's some.
Okay.
Let's go rewatch it right
moving
now.
on, moving on. Okay.
I
so-
think I'm the only one that used a potion, and I only
like I
used
said,
my
I
regular.
used a potion as well.
Oh, you did.
Yeah. For
Okay, so
But I think it was a regular too. I don't think you are a
Oh,
lesser. You didn't have a greater.
Let's
4
go, guys.
graders. I hand one to Roderick. I had one to Doma. I hand one to Aniel.
Uh,
What's it heal?
No,
Myself? It's just a greater health.
I don't need that. You can. You can.
I mean, what if one of us is down and you need to help us, and you can't use your magic? Shouldn't you have something just in case?
Yeah. I suppose you're right. I just have to add
It's
this
just
to her
a
stupid
fail-safe.
image. She has
And
a healing. She
I
has a
hold her
healing.
hand, I'm like,
she has a healing
it's
potion.
okay.
She's got one healing potion on her currently.
A regular, right?
A regular, yeah. I have one already. She kind of like snapping herself awake at this moment, apparently, with a little bit of drool in her face, so she shows you the one health potion she has. I got one.
Then give it to a call if you don't think you're gonna use it.
Here, I call, and she just grabs it from you and hands it to him immediately. Call, you have a
Alright.
greater healing potion.
All right, I'm gonna get rid of the 3 normal ones since I don't know what, where they are or what happened. So I'll just have one greater.
Okay. Yeah, that darn disconnect, right? All this confusion. Moving on to try to help get this going down faster. All right.
What is a greater? What does it do? Is it 44?
Yeah, 44 plus 4.
All right, so then the potion of the clear liquid floats in at the top with cloudy white impurities. Did you guys ever even recall that one?
What was that?
No one remembers this. I highlighted it, so
I don't-
someone got it.
I did not get
All right, I was gonna repeat that. Check your inventory to see if you have a clear liquid, a potion with clear liquid that floats to the top with cloudy white impurities.
That wasn't the healing elixir.
That one is
That one's red.
clear
with
red
bubbles.
liquid with tiny bubbles of
That was
light.
the
in
light
it.
bubbles.
Yeah. So if you don't have it anymore, not my loss. You guys, I show that it was given to the group, but if you don't know who has it, then it's gone. There, we already did the Greta restoration. What about the sickle? Anyone want?
I have it. Does anyone want it? It's probably
Why
better
don't
than
we
a
just-
dagger.
Why don't we just?
Let's go see what the commotion is.
You're
Yeah,
almost
why don't we
done.
do this
There's only
commotion
2 more
first?
items after this.
Oh,
Actually.
okay.
Yeah, you're really close. So sickle +1. Anyone getting that?
Does
anywhere?
anyone want it?
I'll take it. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, requires attunement. Don't forget that. So if you want
Okay.
if you want the effect, you have to actually tune to it. So you extra guys are getting so many magical items. You have to start making those choices. Whoa, you're gaining power. All right, and the last item was the great axe. The great axe.
I don't know if
We
anyone
have
can use
it.
that.
I don't think anyone should be using it. If we don't know what's wrong with it, then we shouldn't use it.
Yep.
We should have to get someone to identify
Agreed with
it.
me.
The only magic items the call needs is his fists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then you guys are done. And
Yeah.
you had a question about the bloodstone.
Yeah, I know we got it identified. What should I write it down as? I
You-
didn't have my mic or headset
You,
working.
you get
for
the
that.
notion from your jewel crafting expertise that bloodstone's worth approximately 100 gold. 100 gold blood gem. You take a look at the emerald that was also looted from there, because someone has an emerald, right?
I have it, yeah.
Yeah, that's also 100 gold. So, that's what those are there, okay? And we should be done with that loot. So I never need to talk about this again. Great, all right. Delete. Oh, wait, I have to keep that. Because just joking. I didn't actually delete it. All right, so you guys grabbed your things. We'll soon you'll tune to the items that you've attuned and whatever necessary. As you hear this commotion, you now see Lena making her way up to the front right now as she starts talking with these guards up in front, or these bronze blades up in front at the moment. And you guys want to make your way closer? Okay, I'm gonna
Yep,
say that's a
yep.
yes. Okay, so it was supposed to be a question. So as you get within range, you basically hear the ending part of a guard going, "All right, well, whenever you're ready, ma'am, we are good to go." And then the guard makes eye contact with you, and you just see that there's a little slight stiffness in his posture, a little bit of sweat on his temple. His eyes dart towards you, Roderick, before he then looks back towards Lena. Right, we'll be up front whenever you're ready, my lady. And then they quickly back up and then turn like tanks, and then quickly rush out of the temple. Lena looks down, turns, and as she sees, makes eye contact with all of you. I will they've requested my me to
Sure.
go. If you would like to come too, I guess you can. It does pertain to you all.
Sure.
Sure. Yes. Sure. It beats staying inside all day.
Right. Okay. Well then, gather your things, and then we can head out, I suppose.
Sure.
So you guys.
Okay.
Very, very lax house arrest, I must say.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Evelyn, you dart off. What are you doing?
I need to go get my dinner.
Ah, she means
Go to the
really,
In
really.
real life. I'll be right back.
If she's getting dinner, I need to be right back too. I have dinner upstairs.
All right.
Well,
5 minutes.
man.
Yeah,
Fine,
5
we'll
minutes.
take a break.
5 minutes.
So, you
Well,
guys,
why would she?
you guys follow, like, you gather your things, and as you're gathering your things, Captain Miles and Reese and Genevieve, they make eye contact with you guys, but they kind of just stay where they are. You guys
I
gather.
whispered to Roderick, do you still have the necklace? The key?
Yes, that's next to my heart. He's wearing a necklace.
So, you guys then follow Lena. As you leave the Temple of Thorns, you see a small little entourage of about 6 or so guards, bronze blades of sorts. They seem very nervous around the Kingslayer group.
Those are the strongest people.
They gesture for Lena. Miss Oakenwell, if you would please come this way. We're headed to the palace itself. There's a nut in my throat.
Oh well.
Literally
maybe
says the
sounds like
dwarf
you,
as he starts choking.
Sounds like you had
Would
a
you
poor
like- would you
choice
like
in
some help?
breakfast, dwarf.
Would you like some help? I can help you get the.
No, you're
No,
good.
no.
Stay where you are, please.
He'll take a step forward. Like,
He
I can do it,
panics and
please.
takes 2 steps away.
They're terrified of us.
All right, so you guys
Totally terrified.
All right.
start making your way up through Medana. It's not a very long trip, as you find you guys yourselves walking through the streets, which are incredibly vacant. You don't see a single other dwarf out there. You make your way up to the palace, going past the column, but not to the throne room itself. You guys find yourself actually being guided along. You run into more and more guards. The kind of, jeez.
Holy fuck, Laris,
Drink some water.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
This will teach you to never eat nuts for dinner.
Oh,
I only ate like 3 handfuls too. It was not even a large amount.
The honey roast? You ate nuts for
They're
dinner.
they're harsh, man. Those honey roasts.
So,
And they'll beat up your throat.
all right, we'll try to get through this. Making your way into the palace, past the corridor of all the columns, you don't make the left that you normally expect that would take you to the actual throne room. Instead, you're guided as more and more guards kind of flank and gesture towards you. You guys eventually come into a large circular room, led down several hallways, and eventually get into a room that has double doors. The doors are currently open. As you guys come inside, the guards then kind of close the doors behind you, and you see there's a good 10 or so guards that are positioned around the circumference of the room, evenly spaced out to kind of help if anything bad goes down. There's several chairs around what appears to be a circular table in the middle, and however, there's a couple other people some that you recognize and some that you don't. They're also standing around, but they're not actually sitting at the table. They're standing around and talking, and so the room is pretty large. It's pretty large. It's a rectangle in shaped. A small little stairway past the circular table, and up that stairway there's like kind of like a view that peeks out towards the Medan itself. Like there's a skybox or I don't know what they call it, a terrace that looks out. There's a small like little railing that looks out into the outer workings of Medan, and you get this notion that you're higher in elevation. And you can see a lot of Medan from this vantage point at the moment. Up in that little cubby spot is several individuals that are standing. That again, some you recognize and some you don't. Lena takes in a deep gulp as she then starts like stiffs up her back a bit and kind of tries to puff her chest out just a little bit, like trying to seem a little bit more intimidating as she starts making her way up towards those up those steps towards those individuals. What do you guys do?
Stand tall.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's all.
All right, so you stand tall and stand where you are, or do you follow?
I guess she said we should follow. I don't know.
Follow.
All right, so you
Follow.
follow suit,
Hmm.
and then you enter into this little skybox area. Oh my god.
Virus, please.
Oh, that was not a smart food choice. 1 second. It's like a cat coughing up a hairball. It's just never, it's never gone. It's just always there. All right, well, give me another 5 minutes before I have to do it again. Okay. Right. So as you make your way into this area, you see one individual that seems very familiar with you. The immediate image of peppermint candy fills your minds as you see red and white stripes of a woman with a pair of safety goggles on, still to this point, still wearing safety goggles over her eyes.
Elsie.
She's still wearing her lab coat, and she kind of has like draped over her, and she kind of has her hands in her pockets, and she's kind of just forcing the coat. But you do see like some of the clothing underneath it, and she looks like she's wearing pretty simple linens or something, nothing fancy beneath it. But there she stands, and now she's kind of talking with this other individual in front of her, who seems like she's kind of like flustered at the moment. She's kind of like gesturing a little bit aggressively towards this man. The man that's in front of her is a where is it? He's an older dwarf with a very long white beard. He's bald on top. He's wearing these gray robes, and on the robes there's these like emblems of lightning bolts, kind of splattered against it. Since you guys have dealt with this deity so much already, you immediately get the notion that this guy must be a priest for Vlad, presented here. And then there's another man that's just kind of sitting there like standing there watching. His hands are currently behind his back. He's got a very strict posture. He looks, let's see, he appears to be a male dwarf. Looks like in his late 50s in dwarven years. I'm sorry, looks like he's 50 years in equivalent of dwarven years, so, you know, over middle age. He has 3 scars across his face. Looks like some kind of like creature kind of like clawed him and damaged his face pretty badly there. It kind of crosses across the cheek and goes down into the chin and just like down a little bit like a diagonal. From that injury from that though, you'd see that his beard is uneven. It looks like wherever that scar damage is, the beard can't grow. So it's very prominent actually. This kind of pops out. You see noticeable pockets. He's wearing dark green and brown leathers that has a chainmail kind of placed over top of it, and then there's these long chainmail sleeves that are actually an extension on top of it that are kind of belted down with these thick brown leather belts, kind of also providing some kind of protection over his arms. It's a sleeve. It's not connected to the torso part of the chainmail, so it kind of looks like it was custom fitted for him. He has a scimitar kind of on his side and a hilt. This person appears to be definitely more focused and kind of intimidating against the other two. As you guys make your way up there, their conversation comes to a quick stop as they all kind of make eye contact with you all. Then clear their throat. Well, it's all great to see you all again. How are you doing?
Okay.
Doing well. How are you?
Been an interesting few days.
Yes, we definitely seem to be having a bit of a problem based on your recent actions. Glad you can make it, Miss Oakenwell. It's glad to have one of the other established hierarchies here with us at this point. And Lena kind of nods her head, or tilts her head just down slightly towards them. We were discussing what would be the best method for our people and what power we should be leaving behind. Isn't that right, Klaus? Says the man who's wearing the gray robes. If it was up to me, I think we have a golden opportunity here to make Medan better for everyone. Oh, I agree completely. I think we can definitely move Medan in a favorable direction, not a bad one. And then her eyes dart off towards the other man, the guy wearing the chainmail. He folds his arms over his chest and he grumbles to himself. Well, since there's now an entourage of individuals here, I suppose we should all represent our claims and what we think is the best method of where we should go with Madan. And I also do want to note that if you have any proposals there, Miss High Priest of the Thorns, that you be our guest and go ahead and chime in as well. We've been debating for a good hour or so already, and we seem to be at sort of a stalemate, as these two peers of mine cannot see the actual potential we have presented to us. Now see here, lass! I recognize, says the man who's wearing the chainmail and the kind of militaristic individual, as he kind of puffs his chest up a little bit more. I say that we keep things as they are. We elect a new individual who obviously there's no blood, no heir for the throne. I said we just put a new person that we see fit. Probably someone that has a large array of military experience because we're currently at a time of war, and I think that we can make Madan
But
safe.
are you really in a time of war? I mean, you don't have to be.
And you are who exactly? I don't think I've met you.
Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn Zestera.
Right. And you are here, Lena clears her throat. They're with me, and they're trusted advisors to help paint my desired
I smile at her.
recommendations
encouraging.
for Madan. Right. Here to support you, I see. Sad that you need support to argue your case, but nonetheless, yes, we are at war. We're at war with ourselves. We're at war with everyone else. We're at war with vagrants that come into our kingdom and kill our king. And I think the reason why this happened is that we were too laxed. And I think the previous leadership, as it were, was not strong enough. And that's why I propose that we stay as we are now and actually increase our militaristic rights. Make ourselves more formidable to reassert our dominance in the entire mountain. Because it, after all, belongs to us in the first place. I do hear what you are saying, good sir, but I think this is a great opportunity, if I might run. I think Miss Oakenwell would agree with me on this one, that we have a chance to prove ourselves to the gods. I would propose that we make ourselves more giving, more willing to support ourselves and our brethren, and to help encourage everyone to come to that of the deities that we hold so true, that being of our Marlesh and, of course, Valad. So I propose that we actually establish a hierarchy of notable religious leaders. Of course, myself and Mrs. Oakenwell would be the front of that, and we would then work in tandem to make Madan prosper in more of a religious sense. I think we need to go back to our roots, back to the deities that gave us life in the first place. I think that is the key to our success. You see at this moment that the Peppermint Elsie Oriel kind of just like, she's like rubbing her temples like she's been hearing this and she's definitely in a disagreement. I believe that is bullshit, and you know it, because the gods do nothing for us. I propose that we enact an institution of education and science. The potential here is unfathomable. We could turn Madan into the most beautiful and brilliant university in the world, a society completely bent on furthering science, magic, the arcane, all of it. And we don't need gods and these old rules tying us down and preventing us, dogma of such. That's not going to help us for the education and make us the most prosperous nation in the world. I propose that we instead make a college. The most elected and elite of our studious mind should lead, and I believe that would be the most prosperous for Madan. Now see here, ma'am, that is clearly true against the current borders, says the guy who's wearing the chainmail. If you don't defend yourselves, these ingrates are gonna come in here and tear down everything. Defense is the most important thing. We must make sure that we have our borders protected. If we don't have our borders protected, I believe we need to make sure that we stay to our roots. And now the three of them kind of get into their very loud debacles. They just start yelling at each other at higher and higher volumes.
Roderick screams in their mind, "May I interject with the awakening behind 30 feet?"
So you can talk to one
talk to
person.
one
You can't talk to multiple.
Is that within 30
All right,
minutes?
so it'll be like really quick, like may interject, may interject, may interject, may interject.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So, so as you start saying that, they seem to be so lively in their current debate of not yelling at each other. They're kind of just dismissing you, Roderick. At this moment,
All right,
you
so-
hear a very loud bellow from a shorter woman that's standing next to you at the moment. That's enough! We'll never get anywhere if you all keep bickering with each other, says Lena Oakenwell in front of you.
Lena the hero.
I think you all have good merits, and I was talking with our guests, you could say, as she suddenly kind of withdraws back into herself just a little bit, her posture kind of, her shoulders slooping up and her hands kind of playing around with her fingers on in front of her. I was talking to one of our guests from the other side of the mines. We have a Captain Visitor Miles here, and she was telling me about how they run things in the Kurat region and how their government works, and about the fears that they had with the monarchy reestablishing itself. And while I do agree, General Degos, I don't think that establishing a stronger military is going to help our relationships with them. And while Crus, I do believe that establishing religion is a very fundamental portion of all society. I don't think we should make an entire government based solely upon that. I think that would be very futile. And of course, Miss Elsie, I don't want to disregard education, but making an entire society just on education is going to be moot, as no one is going to actually. We would just be in a perpetual state of expanse, never actually setting up the current structure to support ourselves in the current place. It would fall to pieces very quickly. All three of them kind of grumble to themselves. So, the way they do it in Krot is they have a council of elected individuals that run their government. They have 3, so that way there can't be a stalemate. An even number would prevent a stalemate. And after talking with this Miss Miles, she proposed to me that perhaps we should join their government. Immediately, the General Degos just slams his hand against a nearby pillar. You hear like the chainmail clatter against it. You propose that we work with those people that sent these spies to kill our king. Well, we could negotiate with them, because if we don't work with them, they definitely have probably more militaristic might than. She does have a point there, Mr. Degos. They probably do have better armed forces than we do at the moment. So if we just re-erect a militaristic institution, they would just see that as a threat and come in and destroy us.
Why don't you guys find a balance between all of these things that you want Madan to be? Why does it have to be one thing? Why can't you do
the potential?
All of it? Why can't you
the
be
potential?
everything?
We could be unchecked, unquestionable if we do this right, says the general.
Well, from what I saw of the council on the other side, they had a military person, they had a science person. I mean, they had this balance on a council that worked together to make their kingdom what they wanted, so to speak, or their area, their domain. They made it what they wanted. They didn't have to choose one.
Says or sighs, I should say, Crust Thundercall, the leader of the Vlad Temple. She does have wisdom in her statement there. I didn't mean to imply that we should have just an institution of devout religion. I just think it should have been the center, but clearly not everyone agrees with that. So I would not be opposed as long as we have somewhere a leg to stand upon with our old traditions. So as long as everyone's equal in that, that would be fine with me. Though that doesn't resolve our problem with this oppositional side, perhaps.
Why don't you guys work together instead of fighting?
Yes, there can be 2 great councils within the mountain. That
Technically, you
Well,
could join the
but I'm-
councils together and
Or
rule.
That's what I
join.
mean.
I
Even if you
suppose
have
that is-
two different councils on each side, you can work together.
I suppose we could propose to them a possibility of negotiations to make a mutual establishment. This Vistra you spoke of, Miss Oakenwell, did she happen to talk about how science and magic work on the other side? Did she talk about the institutions of education? Because I feel that, of course, that is the most important. And her eyes dart over to the other two individuals she's been arguing with over the last hour. No, I didn't actually ask her about that, but I'm sure we could have her come here and answer those questions. I see. Well, as long as the education stays as a paramount for our future, we would have a future. And as long as we can defend our borders currently, we will get to that future! That's the general.
Seems like we're making some progress.
Yes. So what we can do is we have to get in contact with the other side and then sit you all down somewhere neutral, to where we can speak in peace.
It was advised to me that, says Lena, because my voices are so terrible these days, I'm not differentiating them anymore. Lena chimes in, is that Captain Miles technically is considered an emissary at the moment.
She is.
So she does have the
Doesn't have
rights
to
to
matter.
negotiate with us currently. Though keep that in mind that as an ambassador, she should have, as it were, diplomatic immunity for any crimes that may or may not be. Are you suggesting, says the general, who gets really red in the face incredibly quick, that we let them get off the hook for killing the king? What if we attack them? And then Elsie puts her hand up. She does have a point, actually. If these individuals are considered embassy or ambassadors, and we kill them, that would be seen as a sign of war. General, do you want to go to war with this other side of Medan? I mean, if it's going to re-establish our empire, yes. Even if they are substantially stronger than we are. She has a point. A war that we will not win, it will just be wasted blood. The gods would be very disappointed in us. You were on the other side. As ambassadors, as they are suggesting now. What's the militaristic power of this other region? Kind of like pushes his nose towards the ceiling, kind of trying to stare down at you. Even though he's shorter than all of you.
Strong. Well organized.
You would lose.
Yes.
Wait, I don't recognize that coin. He looks towards the tabaxi.
Yes.
Yes.
You're from the forest, aren't you?
Indeed, I am one of the Tabaxi of the Broken Peaks clan.
Ah, fuck, that just complicates things more.
The people over there, we have a mutual agreement, if you will. Trade flourishes. We each keep to ourselves. Take it from me when I say if you went to war, you would not lose. Or you would lose, I should say.
I would not lose, but then I would lose. Right, I think I get
You
it.
would
You're
lose.
saying we would lose. He kind of like ponders it over. I need a call to make a persuasion check with advantage because the party assisted you.
Yeah, call.
Well,
Glad for that advantage.
Wow, right?
3 ones, technically.
it's not that good though. It's only a 12.
3 ones.
Oh, because he had an 11 and a 1, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I was like, well, how did he have 3 ones? Is what I'm thinking in my head, but it didn't dawn on me. I'm not happy with letting them get off the hook. I'm telling you, I'm not happy with it. There's gotta be something they have to do. They have to do something to pay up for killing the previous king. I mean, why'd you even do it? Actually, that's what I want to know. Why'd you kill him? that is
I brought it to look at Doma.
That's a very good question, actually. Why did you upseat our previous power?
Alagadoma.
I mean, the last time we communicated, you seemed also interested in furthering the arcane and learning more about gods. And she kind of like her eyes dart towards the floor, like in disappointment. But you all seemed so much more reasonable. What brought you to bring your blades against our former king?
I would, technically, I started it. I couldn't. Listen, where I'm from, I see situations like the ones you were put into. Sending your troops out to war while leaving the small amount of rations. I see it often, and I saw what it did to people. And it was only going to get worse, and I knew something had to change. Something had to change is what I went into that meeting with, I thought. And at some point, the king mentioned that he killed our friends, and kind of lost it.
Yeah.
Persuasion roll, Doma?
Okay.
I hope I said yeah.
No, that's not enough. You can't just be like, yeah, like
Okay,
you're like a backdrop for rap to suddenly provide support.
I got a 14 for the first one, but I'm rolling it again because lucky is nice.
That's right, you got that crap.
Okay, it's a
14.
13, but 14 plus 8. So, yeah, 22.
Well, you have it, General. He was leaving his current inhabitants in a state of suffering. Do you dispute that? I don't dispute it. It was evident we've had a huge influx of enfeebled people here trying to defend themselves, and unfortunately, the Temple of Storms could not support them all. We actually had to relinquish some of them over to our friends here at the Temple of Thorns. That's true. We did have more influx of people that we don't really have the means to support, and they are in a state of suffering. I see. So you thought it was okay to kill the king instead of talk to him about it?
Nothing like that is ever okay. Unfortunately, I acted without thinking it through.
So as you can see, everyone, he admits that he didn't really plan it all out. And I still think there should be some repercussion for their actions. Something. I won't dispute you on that. We can't just let it go away for nothing. We have to do something.
Technically, we did clear out the Medan mines. If that helps at all.
Is it clear? We don't even know. That could be full of shit.
Yes, it is.
It's partially clear. It's clearer than it was.
Last I
You can make
heard,
it
we
through
were
one
only
side.
70 or so % through there at this moment. And trust me, I just learned about this recently. So I don't think that it's in control, as you say. After all, I'm the general of the Medan forces.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't know more than me.
Not saying that we do.
Sure, Doma.
Okay.
All right, well, we have, we can all agree that, I hope, and she kind of eyes the 4 other leaders of that are present at the moment, that we can at least form a temporary council for now, right? We can then begin negotiations with this emissary from you all are part of, I suppose, to see what's best with us working with this other region. And we can, from there, we need to still decide upon what to do about repercussions for the previous king. That way you are happy, right, General Dagos? Yes, I will not accept anything if there is not at least some consequence to these people for what they've done. What are you proposing? What do you want them to have happen to them? We can't kill them, we admit that. We can't just throw them into prison. because of that. Right?
May I ask a question?
The three dwarves turn their head toward you and then just kind of like leave the space open for you to talk.
What do you intend to do about the Great Gate?
Is there anything? Why is that even being brought up here? Who gives a shit about the Great Gate? We need to have control of the mountain. No, we need to establish a hierarchy here to make sure that we prosper. I concur with Elsie. I think we need to make sure that we succeed. The Great Gate is not necessarily a big concern of us. Why do you speak of it, miss?
Well, as far as I know, that's the only way that I can get back to my home. Unless the way we came in is still open.
Right, didn't you all mention to me, when you were here about a month ago, that the king had organized something for you to gain exit through there?
That's what he said.
I don't see why we would want to restrict it. Is there any reason? Why would we want it closed? What was the point of that? The reason why we want it closed was because it protects our people from the insane people on the surface that just kill kings! The general seems to get a little bit red in his face again. Yes, we understand that you are offended that the previous king died. You were oh so close. Can we stop being dramatic already, please? He seems to get even more red in the face from her getting her direct opposition.
The surface has its own problems. I don't see them turning their gaze towards Medan for any reason. But don't you want your people to be able to prosper and move beyond their borders if they choose to?
You could
Why
open up
would keep them locked up on the mountain like the previous ruler did?
Because it's safe.
If you don't have to.
It's safe. We don't need to have your problems on us.
Just because it's safe doesn't mean that's a life.
You have your own problems, don't you?
Not to be rude or anything, but you all look pretty young. You don't know what it's like. I've seen things. You can't be more than, what, rugrats in my eyes. And you are younger than me. And I think they have wisdom that clearly outshadows you, sir. It's like all of you are against me. I don't even know why I'm here! And he storms out of the room. Don't worry about him. We didn't need his brute strength anyways. Well, not really. Well, maybe. Oh dear. Speaking of which, did you all happen to find a very pure source of Agnia, like I offered you all previously?
There should be plenty in the mines, but yeah.
We found plenty of sources that we can point out for you.
Yeah, I believe that one of the groups down there has secured it.
That's what I was hoping to have my hands on some now. For science, of course, but I guess I'll have to wait for them to bring it.
Does someone have any?
I have Agneer, but it's not as pure as she wants.
Oh.
Yeah.
The pure stuff we tried to get.
Any Agneer is Agneer. Can I
Just
see
give her what you have.
the source you have? If
Sure.
possible?
That was from the big room?
Yeah, from the
Sarath
big
room?
Sarath room. I grabbed a few big chunks from it.
Mm-hmm. And so you show her one of your chunks, and she's like looking at it. Oh, yes. Well, it's not a pure source. I've seen pure, but it is a sizable chunk. If you would donate this, I would be more willing to support your cause. And she kind of offers
Of course.
she tries to offer like a charismatic smile, but she's just terrible at it, you can tell.
Of course, I would be willing to donate it.
Accepting bribes already to be a soon-be council member, Elsie? Well, it's for the future of all of us. You see, this is a pretty... please, this would be very helpful to us.
Yeah, we discussed this prior to
Yeah.
our position.
This was a prior arrangement.
What do you all think of the gods? I'm just curious. Are you for
certainly
them
had
or against them, really?
I'm a paladin. I follow them,
And which deity do you follow?
more or less.
There's a little bit of a twitch to his eye. Right, more or less.
But I've had many dealings with the people of your respective religion.
Are you sure you
From
follow
where I'm from.
Marlesh?
quite certain. But I can't speak for the rest of my party.
I fear there's a difference than what you see. Interesting.
Hmm.
The rest of you, do you believe in any of the domain? Divine? I
Not really,
sense
I'm
a
a little
shadow over
indifferent to
you
it.
as he looks at Roderick. But that's no...
Oh, a
that's
shadow.
Yes, but it's no god. Be wary. It would bring your doom if you trusted too much.
It is his guilty conscience.
I guess you're right. Oh.
Well, this
Well.
went semi well, I suppose. I don't think we would have ever cooled Dagos. He's a hornheart for a reason. He's far too stubborn. He would never have conceded anything besides a pure militaristic state. We would have been here all evening, Elsie. I agree.
If I may.
I agree. Mr. Oakenwell, is there anything else that you would like to interject at this point, or we can go ahead and adjourn for now and regroup over maybe tomorrow to see if there's some changes? I have no direct objections. I just feel it's in our best interest to work with the other side, and it doesn't sound like they're at terrible states. I feel that if we could make a mutual government, it would be the best for Medan's interests, especially with our current state of affairs. Right, well, I guess we can talk about this tomorrow. It was a pleasure meeting all of you.
You as well.
I wish we had better terms. I do not hold it against you for what you did, though I would encourage you not to all hold it against yourselves. At least seek repentance to the divine if it is truly on your conscience. Farewell. He tilts his head as he then makes his way out of the room.
Wait.
Yes?
As far as for what he wanted for reparations for actually killing the king.
Oh, yes. I'm sure we'll talk about that tomorrow, unless you have a suggestion.
Maybe not so a suggestion, but if it's something that we have to suffer as a whole, I'll take that for myself. Allow me to bear that cost for everyone.
And why are you shouldering this, sir? Are you trying to scare away the shadow?
No. It's more or less for me personally, because I was the one that dealt the final blow to him.
Oh, but I would be more inclined to believe the person that started it all would be the one who's actually
Me.
to blame.
If I may, regardless of the blame game, helping those who stands now is the priority. Tell me, I know that the people are being rationed, but how are the food stores of Medan?
Very bad.
Is there a way we can help?
Very, very, very bad. I don't know. You have to tell me. How can you help? If you can find a way to help provide for the goods.
If you open the Great Gate, I may be able to help with that.
There is also a chance of maybe getting a supply line from Karat.
Exactly.
This would be more in line of what Mrs. Oakenwell's thinking. I don't necessarily oppose it. Elsie, how do you feel about this? I wasn't aware that we were going to continue deliberation, but I suppose that I would not oppose it. After all, the Karat side probably has more than a plethora of resources, and so us exchanging goods with them and the like, and then exchanging with the surface would be probably very prosperous towards all prosperity. So I would not oppose it.
It was just a thought I had.
I believe the problem here is convincing General Durgos.
What do you think it would take?
Oh, he's a stubborn one. I don't think there's actually any way to actually convince him. However, we have numbers and he doesn't, and so as long as I'm on your side, and she looks at the crystal in her hand right now, I am on your side, I see no reason to disagree with it. I don't see a reason why to keep the gate closed, so Miss Evelyn, that would be completely fine with me to open up. I don't see a reason why we should not work with Karat, especially if their forces are stronger than ours, as you say. And I see good potential reasoning with all of us working with them. So I am completely fine with those things as long as we can develop further. And as long as we stay with our roots, I don't have a problem. So, right, that does seem to kind of be the opposite of mine there a bit, Mr. Thundercall, but I do think that we could probably come to an arrangement, and you seem like a very sane person. Of course, I'm saying I am an envoy of the higher beings. Anyways, I am tired. I am leaving. I will hopefully see all of you again tomorrow. Don't get into too much trouble. He kind of waves his hand dismissively as he then starts making his way out of the room. Unless someone wants to interrupt him again. No. All right.
No. So does this mean we're off the house arrest?
At this moment, it's just you, Lena, Elsie, and the other guards in the room, right? It's just your little entourage. Everyone, all the other council members have theoretically left, or soon-to-be council members have left.
So again,
well, with the powers that be here, I guess under our enacted temporary government, I will go ahead and say that you do not need to be under house arrest anymore, since you are part of the embassy, or ambassadors, or whatever you want to phrase it. Again, your token here is greatly appreciated, so I will announce to everyone, all present, that you are currently allowed to move around the city at will. Though I would probably encourage you to still stay in the city, as that would be very incriminating for you to leave. There's only so much I can do for you. Sorry.
Yes.
It's fine.
Thank you very much.
Well, I will retire for now to begin my studies. She seems to kind of have like a little extra prep in her step, and she kind of like starts walking, and she's just looking at the crystal, and you can just see like her head's just kind of formulating what other things she can experiment with on it. So probably tomorrow, we'll see you all later. And she just like makes her way out. So now it's just you all with Lena and there at the moment.
Thank you, Lena.
Yes, thank you, Lena. Without you, that would have gone poorly.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's for the best. I'm glad you came. I don't think I would have had the backbone to really argue with them anything, so.
You did great, and you can keep doing that in the future.
Yeah, you did great, Lena.
Let's head back.
Sure.
So then you all make your way. None of the guards seem to be imposing you, and you come out the way you came, and you are now out in front of the palace, at the top of it, near the higher elevation point. You can see out Medan in front of you, and it's still just quiet out there. There doesn't seem to be any people moving around. There's no one out there; it's just vacant. And you guys make your left towards back to the Temple of Thorns, where you then find yourself inside the temple again, and the residents in there are currently actually eating at the moment. There's Darvis is actually handing out what little bit of rations that he seems to have procured. I mean, it looks like he's kind of splitting it off into very small portions, but he's handing out like bread rolls that he's like tearing off and giving portions out. And you can see he's like doing math to try to make sure that everyone gets a fair amount, that please bid them time kind of thing.
Can I contribute some of mine? Yeah.
If you would like, sure.
4 rations.
Oh, hey, what's up, everyone? Oh, what are you? And you just kind of shove your 4 rations to Darvis's hand. Oh,
Here you go, Darvis. Have some rations.
Thanks. We can definitely use these for,
I just wish I could give more.
for tomorrow, right? For these people. It's still has to be rations so we have enough to get through, right? Thank you, Doma. Appreciate it. I see that you all have your heads still attached to your necks, which is good news.
For now.
And you all right, Lena? Yes.
She did really well. You should be proud of her.
She's amazing.
Right. Here, go ahead and hand me some of those items. I'll help distribute. Oh, sure. And he hands her like a basket that has like bread loaves in it, and she starts distributing them too. Good news is that I was able to convince them to have that meeting with people, which I didn't know you were all going to attend. I thought it was just going to be Lena, Kos, Elsie and Degos, but I guess I'm glad you guys went. If things went well, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Mm,
What are you all planning on doing now?
Hmm.
I'm guessing we have to stick around a little bit longer.
In the
Sounds
city, at least.
next meeting tomorrow
All right.
with the Miles there.
I predict that probably means there's going to be a handful of meetings over and over and over again. So do prepare yourselves for that as they try to work out what's the best way to proceed. You are free to stay here for the
Thank
time being. We'll manage. We always do, right? All right.
Is there anything you need help with?
That's a good question. I know that you're you can weave magic, right?
Mhm.
Can you make food? Because that's
I can make good berries.
Those are good.
that's something. That would be very helpful. Right?
I make 10 good berries and I hand them over to him.
Hold on,
There's 10 people right there.
That's 10. Good, excellent. If you can make more, let me know. And he, with a little
Tomorrow.
bit more food.
Yeah.
Question.
You
Do
can,
you know
just FYI, Evelyn, you can make more than just 10.
I can?
You can cast the spell multiple times. It's not concentration.
Oh, it's level 1, right?
Yeah. So you could use all your spell slots, burning it to make
Mm-hmm.
a mass
Like
amount of
half
good
the
berries.
city.
They last 24 hours regardless if you consume them or not. I mean, so you have the means to actually generate a fair amount of food, as each good berry is enough food for a whole day. But, I mean, just to let you be aware of that.
All right, let me do.
I'm not trying to stress you. I'm not trying to play the game for you. I'm just wanting you to be aware that you could.
Well, I mean, we're not really going anywhere, so I might as well just use it to make food for these people.
Okay, but how many do you want to
Right.
make? Those is the trade-off.
All of your spell slots, he just gets
all of them.
submerged
No.
in berries. Oh god!
Tidal
I'll-
wave.
I'll use all of my level 1s and a level.
So as soon as you make 40 of them,
Yeah.
that's a lot. How long do these last?
24 hours. You need more?
No, he's like doing math. There's more here than there is people. And you say these are good enough
There
for
you
a
go.
whole day's worth of nutrition.
Mhm.
No.
Well then, that solves that problem. He starts like waddling with a huge amount of berries in his hand, and he's now giving a berry to everyone. And they're like the people. If you could help me with distribute these, actually, because like some are starting to like
Yeah.
roll off his shoulder
I'll help him.
and
Yeah,
like falling
I'll
on the
help him, too.
ground.
That would
A
help
large
as
amount
well.
of people kind of gather to you guys, and they're like throwing the berry in their mouth. And while it's a very short experience, they seem to be they look like kind of like almost a level of elation to feel like that spreading this up, that they consume it, that it feels like their hunger has been abated, and they thank you all as well as the current people in charge of the temple. So after like 30 minutes or so, you do distribute all the berries to every single person, as well as have some for yourself if you would like to consume them. So sans that, is there anything else that you guys would like to do?
I guess we laze about until tomorrow, right?
Sure. If that's what you want to do. Okay. So we're gonna kind of speed this up here a bit. We don't need to have improv. I mean, we don't need to do the dialogue of every single thing about what's being instituted in the government. So all I would like to know is what are your guys' proposals that you would be arguing over the next few days with these individuals to see how many of them will stay en route and hold firm.
Like one from each of us, or just in general?
You guys can collectively make the decision yourself. Because technically, you have you have the rest of this day, the current day we're on right now, to plan.
Make a game plan.
And then, so
yeah.
I know that it's I'm trying to speed this up, but so I'm so
We're making a new government. It's not easy.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
My suggestion
and,
would be
and,
that
I'm,
we
and I'm
just-
not trying to arbitrarily simulate a
Right.
full government. I just want an
Yeah.
idea of what you're arguing.
Yeah.
There's
no
no
Well,
way
I
we're
think-
gonna.
I was about to say something.
We're Lower taxation, you see. That's how we're gonna get the whole thing started.
So, just what are the main highlights that you guys would like to stress, and if you guys could come to a
One
consensus
vote
on
equals
it,
one
that
good
would be
bear.
great. To try to help keep us on time limit here, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a slight clock on this. Let's just try to get this done within 10 minutes, preferably, hopefully sooner. But
Right.
all right.
And I
Join with
Basically-
Karat.
Yeah, we should argue that they should create their own floor.
They
And
need
that
to
the
have a.
two- Go on.
Yeah.
The two
No,
councils should
so
join.
I mean, if there's two different councils, they can still work together to make it a whole cohesive community down here.
Bigger council.
But they need to
A
make sure that
federation.
people are able to move freely. People shouldn't be restricted on whether where they choose to live or anything like that. I mean, if someone here wants to live over there, like they should be able to do that.
So basically,
I
like
still
a
think they should
federation, basically.
integrate and open, trade with other.
I hope you guys are taking notes.
Oh, we're writing this down.
I mean,
I was-
if you want to
I was
remember
trying-
everything you've said.
Mhm. Okay, basically a federated kind of state in which short terms for us, it works like the basically United States. We have the Medana and Karat would be two separate.
Entities.
They're not their own entities. They're a part of a larger entity. So it'd be
Right.
basically the mountain as a whole, whatever they want to name themselves. But those two would be they all have their somewhat independent government, but they come together for one.
It's states in the United States.
Yeah, it's states. It's a federal or federation.
I agree with that. I think that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Or like
Based
the
on
EU,
the current
the EU.
circumstances, they're putting up potentially it's 4 council members on this side, yeah.
Right.
There's
Mm.
three.
Okay.
There's 3 on Karat right now, and there might be
And then
putting
there's
4 here.
4 on Monday. Okay, so that would still mean
They have a tiebreaker.
it'd be an uneven number, but it would be a larger amount of members on the Medan side. If they
Well,
how I'm envisioning it is it'd be 2 committees, right? And then they somehow make a middle ground, but in the mine somewhere, like
Right.
Yes,
they build like an
exactly.
area where it's like they can meet,
Right.
and that would be where both sides discuss issues collectively
Right.
out throughout the area as a whole, and then recede back and talk about normal issues in their own town.
Right. Exactly.
yes.
But,
But they need to work together.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
because there'll be one entity. Yes.
that's
so-
the
Right.
point.
The mines should join.
Could this is probably a dumb idea. Could someone from the Tabaxi
They could be the
area
tiebreaker.
they join the
Yeah.
council for Karat and help kind of balance that out then? Or like
That's
If
would you want them to have a say in
another
that,
bag
or-
of nuts.
That's a whole
That's a whole other thing. Because there's some stuff going on that
right,
hasn't
right.
been forward
That
yet.
hasn't been
so-
exactly. I'm just throwing it
Oh,
out there
that's
as an
awkward.
option
Mhm.
if
You
there's
know,
Well,
one
we'll leave
that-
it. Well, how about we leave it for the Karat side to actually decide who that 4th person will be.
I mean,
Well, but I'm saying because
We can
they're an
push it.
entirely different race
Yeah,
over
yeah, I'm
there.
saying we
Like,
can-
they
we
should
can-
have
we
a
can push-
say in kind of
we can
everything that
push it.
happens.
We can
Right.
push it, but it's up to them to decide for that.
Right.
Well,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So
It's
we
not-
suggest it, but it's up to them.
Right.
Yes. So okay. So
So, Call, you would be
Basically,
aware, just FYI,
Yeah.
that the Karat regional government does not require you to be a dwarf to be a council member. However, historically, it's almost always dwarf, yes.
Right.
There's very seldom in some other race, but Karat is this more of a like we are trying to include every other race in the mountain, at least
Yeah, I
attempting
get you.
to.
Right.
The only reason I'm saying that is because the situation that was going on, like the reason why the Leafs exist in the first place. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I
That
know.
kind of
It's
So
I'm just trying to tell you, but reinforce
it could work.
All right.
all right. So we'll go with that. It's a federated system. They come together in the middle of the mines, and to discuss the issues. The Karat side to bring one more. Likely, we're pushing the Tabaxi to represent to be the middle, the 4th, and hopefully the middle ground, and they may even decide as the one entity there.
Another thing I would like to point is that both sides should also send contingents of guards to guard their sections of the mine.
Correct.
Yeah. So they'll both keep their basically the stand.
Their paths to the center point open.
Correct.
That
And
needs to be.
so there will be guards, basically guards for both sides, but in the middle there'd be the guards that are just for the
For them.
the total of the mountains. They wouldn't have allegiance
Right.
to one side or another.
It would be like its own like station.
Basically,
Basically, yeah.
another United Nations peacekeepers. There we go.
Yeah.
Or the actual U.S. Army as opposed to
Right.
National Guard and Coast Guard and such. All right.
Okay. You guys have used up
let's
half
see.
your time here for your think tanking here.
Yep.
So my goal here is in the end is that you present me bullet points of what you're looking for in the end, and then we're gonna determine on a roll to see how successful they stuck.
Okay. Let's see. Do we need to talk about the point of compensation or trying to appease the general, because he's just trying to look after the good of his people, and so I'm feeling that if we offer, I know this is going to sound a little strange, but like monetary compensation for them to barter for supplies for their people, that would show a good graces kind of thing.
All right. So we want to add.
Who are you thinking with?
We
So-
could also supply food via Evelyn most days.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't fix the
I
that
don't
doesn't
mean to
fix
force
the
you into it,
issue.
Evelyn,
So as
but
soon
yeah,
as
so
Doma
basically-
says that in the
basically
meeting, so as soon as
I'm
Doma
sorry,
mentions this,
you want what?
Doma mentions that, then they're like, oh, you can make food. That's great. How long are you gonna stay in Medan to keep providing us food?
Right.
All right. So
I mean,
with that federated
I'm more
system-
than willing. I'm more than willing when I get home to talk to the council of Windheim about opening trade routes and getting supplies that they need here, in a quick and efficient way, if possible. So that's also
just be
another
with
option.
Karat.
Is that
yeah, just keep talking about within the mountain. Each
Yeah.
side. So basically,
Oh,
basically
Give-
Medan and Karat. That's
Give
about.
coin to Medan for them to barter with Karat.
But
Well, Medan should have.
do
the-
they have
that
anything to
coin, though.
bar?
It's the same coin.
Constructs. Yeah, same coin and everything.
Same
So
coin.
I mean, that's up to them though. That we can leave that for them to decide that, because they're
I'm
going to
just
be
saying
one.
monetary compensation, not the actual act of the trade itself.
Right.
Mhm.
Because if the council
So-
is really trying to look after the people as a whole, then a single gold piece
Yeah.
that's somebody's meal for the day, right? Or
Right.
that's
Well,
actually
they need
more
they
than that.
actually need
I
the
think.
food though. They actually need the food more so. So basically, it'd be Karat
Right.
assisting Medan with basically,
Food.
and that's in that sense almost restarting for their agriculture.
And in return,
Agricultural
receiving
system.
gold, which they can use
Yeah.
to
So trade,
further
just regular
build
trade. for the
their
most part.
farmers. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, just a general trade. Redeveloping a trade route. How about that?
Basically.
And it would be a boon
Yeah.
to both sides, so there's no
Right.
reason not to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
redevelopment trade route. Who's writing this all down?
I mean, I'm taking bullet points, and
Okay.
I mean, we don't have much really.
Yeah, just a bare bones.
It's
Pretty much.
basically trade. It's work together. It's have councils on each side that come together.
But
I mean,
my
that's
My thing is if you're one entity, like in a federation, the states that are under that they trade among themselves either way. So They
Right.
don't have to necessarily.
So
You know,
one of the things you guys
add
haven't
in
really
trade.
dialogued heavily about
Is our
here,
own
which is
punishment.
definitely being talked about over these several days, is ownership of the mine.
Oh,
Who,
fuck.
who controls the act
Both.
here?
Both.
As
Both sides.
as Medan is very interested in keeping that in their possession, and so anytime you provide opposition that both do it, there's stalemate that kind of comes in the room. Elsie is incredibly interested in keeping that in her possession, as well as the general, and so you guys are finding a large amount of opposition against that one. So if you could think of
Even
Okay, but
Even
the
split.
question is, did we see how dependent is Karat side on Agnir? Like, how dependent on their
It's not.
are they
So,
on it this side?
Captain Miles is during these meetings with you because she's acting as the representative on that
Mhm.
side. So she's now starting attendings with you, and so she's talking about how dependent they are, and we're not really dependent that much on Agnia.
So are you guys okay letting them have the mine?
The only risk that I can
Yes.
see with it is its militaristic power. That you guys have these
Yeah,
constructs that
yeah.
are run by them. So that
Well,
would be
oh,
that
how
would
about
be
could
this?
put an
How about this?
embargo on-
Wait. How about this? The Medan side shares basically the technological aspects of constructs and such with Karat in exchange for.
If we do that, they're
Well,
going to
larger
have
part of the
more
mine.
power. They're going to gain militaristic strength. That's one of the few things we have. Furthermore, if we're
Okay,
gonna give
you
away
guys need to. You guys
together.
need
You're
to start.
One
Yeah,
entity.
you're one people. You're not two different sides fighting over a common whatever. You guys need to start thinking about it as your one whole, not
One
two
big
halves
mountain.
of the whole.
So we got 30 seconds here. Anything else you want to throw in that bit?
What are we doing for our punishment?
Begin thinking about contact with
Trade.
other
Yeah.
outside countries.
Outside people.
Okay.
When the
So-
gate opens, the councils can take care of that.
10 seconds remaining. We're going to trip that down now. All right, so what are the bullet
Getting the
points?
red
Let me
side
have these
screwed.
presented to me of the things that you guys have been heavily or vehemently arguing over the last 2 days of things that you think that would be the best for all the sides. And we'll be assuming that you're really being funneled through Lena, and Lena's arguing these things for you, kind of thing. Not so much it's you guys doing it because you're outsiders, as much as they want to claim it.
Right.
Yeah. So but you're kind of taking the torch for Lena because she's going to be confiding to you and
Yeah.
say, what should I do? And
So I believe it was council on each side. That's obvious. There would be a center point in the mine where both councils come together, be it every so often or however they want to do it. That's on them, and they would discuss issues on the entirety of what goes on in the mountain as a whole, and discuss issues within their own cities with each other, so they can come to an agreement on like terms. Next would be the actual security of the mine itself to allow trade routes through. Karat's side of the mine would obviously hold their side of the mine and defend it. Defend it being just make sure that travelers get through safely, no monsters attack them or anything like that. Same on the Medan side. Let's see. The guard in the center point area would kind of be like unaffiliated, just making sure the peace is kept, stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's see, what else? Trade, trying to be
trade,
open.
Grey Gate options up on surface.
Yep. Making sure that Miss Miles has sent a letter over to
Within our
Karat's
7
side,
days.
knowing not to have a war happen, and that we are safe, and possibly to bring a tabaxi onto the council to even out the numbers. Actually, no, that would not work because then it'd be a stalemate on those. Yikes! All right, that's another issue in its own.
Well, I was gonna say, do we leave it at 7 so there's one person who's, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It has to be from an outside point, though.
that's another issue. All right, skipping over that. I think that's the big ones covered. Oh, when it comes to religion, I mean, that's a council thing. Same
You
with
always
science.
keep it open.
Yeah.
There's no reason to stamp it out.
Militaristic might. Besides keeping the mine pathways open and the control the Agnir, I think splitting it is what we agreed, or trying to do, using it as kind of a
I mean,
it's a resource. It's what it is.
It's a resource. I mean,
They don't need it, so they'll trade it to Medan, and
right.
Medan has something they need probably,
Right.
so they'll trade it for Agnir. It's
So it's
that
basically
easy.
like a trade. Yeah.
well, so you're saying that the mine should be split as the resource as well, and so not that it's being it's not. I mean, so it can be traded, but with Karat being funneled, they're going to that's less resource for Medan to bargain with. Just that's what I'm hearing is right. Is that the mine, the contents of the mine are split. The protection of the mine, the people that enforce it, are split between custody on both sides, as well as the contents inside are also split evenly. Is that correct?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to
Sounds
say
like-
it's wrong. I'm just trying to say I want to understand what you're telling me, because that again, the more you put on one spectrum, the more the DC might go up or go down.
right.
That one's gonna make it go up, splitting it.
Yeah, a lot.
But how do we?
All right, wait. I got it. The mines, that will actually be controlled by the council as a whole. They will basically
Yeah.
attempt to kind of decide on how that is used.
Yeah.
And that basically the council represents the mountain as a whole,
Okay.
and not one side or
All right. I think I got it. So
Join forces.
what I
One
want,
mountain.
what I want here,
Our chant will be one mountain, one people.
I would like.
Yeah, one mountain, one people.
Wait,
Woo.
guys. Oh, what about the poem? That poem.
Oh no, we're past this point.
Oh, the one with the hammer on the.
Yes.
You want me to read it to you guys, just to remind you about it?
We should bring that up in the council. Like, come on,
So
one
flat.
You
people.
like, dude, even your forefathers.
So it was
One mountain, one people.
The short and the stout will never give in or shout. Our cheers will not drought. Those tall and woolly bred will choke on their own heads. You guys want to bring this poem up?
Yeah, no, not that part.
Not
We can
that.
scratch over that.
Within the mountain, hammers fall and sing aloud. Their chorus, our pride. All right. So what I would like is I'm going to have roles from respective party members here to help bring up points. So let's see. I would like Owl to do the council one. So this is Owl's. So Owl, can you please roll a persuasion check? I think that honestly Roderick would be this one. So Roderick, can you please roll the center point one?
So I
No.
get to one where they decide the country as a whole. Yay! Oh boy, rip me.
10.
Holy fuck! You have a big modifier on that shit.
Yeah.
Doma, you're gonna be the open religion.
Okay. Sure. Just roll persuasion.
Yeah, that's what you're doing here.
Am I allowed to lucky this?
No. It's over several days, and it's not like over just one more comment. It's not like it's not one comment. It's several.
Wow.
A call. I would
Can I
like.
lucky this?
No. A call. You do open trade within the region. This is a call.
Come on,
Can you
Nicole!
Are you survival on that?
No.
Oh.
It's conversational skills.
God, I'm not good at that. I'm just a cat.
Overall, you guys aren't lying.
a
You're
nat
trying to do what's
20?
in the best interest of them. So you're not-
I'm good at it. I just can't roll.
Oh my god!
Call you.
All right, so
Nat
Nat
20.
we'll start with these because there's a couple more I have to go over here. So these two circles. All right, so owls 10, council on each side. So as you guys get into this debate, and Captain Miles is part of it, and she's doing the best she can to argue it. Envoys and such are sent back to Hammerhold. This is like a week of you guys debating, by the way. Unfortunately, this is how long you guys are stuck here in Medan, and there's nothing you can do about it. Eventually, other people from Karat do eventually appear here through very expedient travel. And so they kind of help Captain Miles, and all this kind of come together to figure out what's the best way to move forward. And so, council on each side is ultimately shot down. In the end, what it is that there's going to be a united council between both sides. In fact, unfortunately, the governments between them are not going to be separate governments, but one government combined. They're going to combine Karat's council and include these individuals in the council. This is the decision.
Kind of what we wanted
This was at the dismay of the general for sure. He was very pissed about this. He says there's too much pride. Cross Thundercall also was very unhappy with this resolution, but through the demonstration here, it is definitely evident that Medan is on the lower bargaining chip here, and they have to sacrifice far more than what Karat has.
Right.
Karat is definitely in a more stronger position of power, and so that dice challenge is that in the end, Medan is going to join the council of them to represent both sides, the sides of Bald Mountain. So the amount of seats is there's going to be 5 seats in the council. The 3 current seat members stay who they are, but two other seat members get to join in to keep it odd number. And so those 5 will work on the inner workings of the mountain. So there's 2 seats that are open on the council is what is decided in the end. So it's not exactly what you guys wanted, but it's close. But yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, I was gonna.
It's better than
really what I
wanted.
wanted. This
Close.
is.
I think this is what we wanted. We just didn't know how to say it.
All right, so now, well, I mean, you wanted them to have their own separate sovereignty. So
Yeah,
there is
I guess.
disgruntlement on Medan's side as they got the shorter end of the stick. They get less, they get less seats on this, unfortunately.
Right.
And so there's a little bit of animosity on that, but Roderick,
starving.
center point where the mine where both councils can work together. This is actually basically becomes moot with the way the
Yeah.
argument that they'll work wherever it is.
Such a good roll too.
So
Shit.
it was, unfortunately, and got dishambled by Evelyn's not so high roll. I'm sorry. So, but in the end, they
Then
basically
we
go,
can
yeah,
trade.
well, we're gonna meet at a communal point, which is convenient for everyone.
Right.
So in this case, we can just kind of slash
You
out
won.
open trade, and the council
Alright,
as
so
a whole
then
decides among
security of the
We'll
mine
just
is actually
skip
still
one.
very important. We're gonna have to talk about that later, but that wasn't rolled yet. So then open trade with a call. Open trade
20.
clearly is a natural 20. Yes, they have no reason to not do it. All parties are interested in it. The only one that's kind of leaning against it really is there's two individuals. One of the council members actually on Karat's side. Who? Oh God, what the hell was his name? Give me a second. I have to remind myself of that council.
He probably runs all the
Uh,
resources.
That would be Canton Crywin. He was the red-haired dwarf. He was definitely opposed to open trade up front. He was trying to make Medan have like a taxation or something like that
hell.
benefited Karat more.
Oh.
But in your debates here, you guys were able to get a free trade that no side has a tariff on. So in the end, this was the best
Nice.
what came up for Medan. There was a much more gamble here that Medan was going to get screwed, actually. And so recall, you saved Medan a huge amount of grief, which is helping the tensions on the sides dramatically, actually, because of that. So good roll there. Good job.
Mhm.
Helping the tobacco.
Open for Legend of a 1. Oh, jeez.
Tyler.
So this one was an interesting topic you guys focused on, but is not actually that really terribly important to any of the council members. So even those that are religious, the thing is that both sides share at least two of the same religions. So in the end, what happens here is that Medan, unfortunately, it has to make it legally allowable to practice the other two main religions on the practice of worship of two other additional gods that exist in Karat, as your role was so bad that Medan got screwed on this. So now
open
More
Medan.
religion.
Medan and ultimately in the end here is supporting not just the religion of Temple of Thorns and Temple of Storms. They also are going to be adding in
And Death, right?
Drabalor is being added into this mix, as well as Jalzem. So the Death Domain as well as the Light Domain have been also added, as these are the four religions, the pillars of Karat. So Krust was definitely not incredibly enthused by that at all, but in the end he has to accept it based on your guys' terrible representation of him. Thank you, Toma.
Whatever, it works out.
So, but in the end, at least since they get to keep the current religion they have, there isn't animosity on it. So,
Right.
You know, it's not the best situation. It might be a problem in the future, but for now, that it's kind of like. So overall, you guys are getting a notion that a large amount of it's more like just as Karatz is kind of extending this portion into itself. They're not really changing too much in the self. You haven't done a lot that's really kept. So Medan's kind of just being kind of absorbed, but they're trying to keep some of their identity based on
It's
their
what
roles.
we were trying to avoid, but
Well,
Alright. Yeah, and
Go well.
unfortunately, the way it was distributed it didn't work out too well. And Domo, you had such good persuasion too. I was like, oh, this is gonna pass. I was like, oh, it's religion, it's related. That's great.
And then
Alright.
you forgot I was me.
So now we have to do. We're gonna focus on the bottom one. The council as a whole decides how the mine's contents are shared. Well,
that'd be the council then, wouldn't it?
This is
So we
this is
can
part of the
decide.
council decision. They have to go on that. So now I want to know your guys' opinion of what you are arguing arguing here. So do you want it split evenies what you want, or are you trying
Time
to
out.
keep? Because now keep it. You're doing the following. You're gonna be arguing Medan's perspective on this. So, are you going to say that the best ruse to provide things is to split it, or have Medan full control over it?
I just
The
need to
council
know.
should have a full control.
I need to know one thing. What would the Karat region do with the Agnier other than study it and
Right.
use it as a resource to trade to Medan? Is that it?
So when you pose this question in these meetings, the conversation's like, well, we just don't want them to have that militaristic power. If we just give it all away to them, they could eventually usurp us. Hey,
Yeah, but you're
furthermore,
basically-
that is also a possibility of extra trade for ourselves. We could develop things to make Agnia more useful for us, and we could develop it on our side. Right, they shouldn't be able to keep all of it. It says, what's her hell? Amber. Amber is just like completely... Like the entire meeting, she just feels like she's wasting her life away. This very young dwarf.
I mean, you're kind of
Oh,
already
okay.
absorbing this entire
Yes.
populace. So
Medana is
what is
part
the
of
harm
Karat,
in
Karat's
letting
part of
them? I don't know.
It invites them to try to overthrow us at some point. I mean, since we're pretty much
You've
absorbing
already shown you're stronger than them, so I don't understand why you think.
Basically,
So,
if you don't
either
want to
way,
have
I need
weapons, just make it so there's a law against making.
Roleplay aside here. I want to know what your argument was for. Are you guys agreeing on? You have to come to a conclusion here. Do you want to agree that Medan has full control over it, partial control over it? What is it you're going for?
I think partial control. I think that Medan, because here's how I'm viewing it. Medan has studied it more, therefore they have more uses out of it.
Right.
They can use that technology as a tool for trade. Like, hey,
Right.
we'll give you some of this, and in return, where you guys have actual much larger farm area, give us food, and we'll show you this.
Are you
It can be
thinking,
used
like-
as a both sides.
Like a
So-
80-20. Like, are we thinking like a
It's like
split?
80-20, yeah, like something like that.
80-20? That's
Or
what I was
like-
thinking too.
That in that ballpark, partial.
I'll go 70-30 just to give Karat more, just to give him a little more or something.
You mean Medan more? 70% Medan, 30% Karat?
Yeah, the minimum I'll go 60-40.
I do agree. Medan needs more just because they
Yeah.
can get more use out of it, and it's a
I would
bargaining
say.
chip
I
that they
would
don't
say.
have.
70-30 or 80-20.
Wait. Okay. Oh, can we add in basically? It wouldn't matter because they're not sovereign entities, but basically a clause to which that the military that's on both sides can only be used by the council, as in only they can muster
That's an idea.
and gather troops.
Only
But that's a
one,
whole nother point, though.
One thing, yeah.
Well,
That is a
We'll
good
add
point.
that
How
to
is
it.
the
I'm bringing it up.
military run now? That because it's a one council altogether. That means
Yeah.
it's one ruling body over
So the
everything.
one military.
So the
should
military,
be,
it doesn't
should
even
be-
matter.
Right, exactly.
It's both
They're all on the
it
same
doesn't-
side.
Yeah. So
So they're
basically a moot point.
just looking for who's gonna have
It's-
control of the mines. I say Medan should have a higher majority in that.
70-30. 70-30.
70-30.
Okay. 70-30. So you guys are arguing 70-30 in the end. Alrighty then. Since Roderick's the one that proposed it, Roderick, make the roll.
Can I cast guidance?
Cast guidance.
Guidance.
No, you can't cast
Help
guidance.
him? Can we help him?
Yeah,
No!
come on.
Yes, we can.
Oh, I heard
lent him a
advantage.
lucky.
They're helping.
No, there's no help. Stop trying to.
11.
Okay.
I lent him a lucky.
So you guys concede early that full control is not going to be acceptable. Man's not going to get full control. So you guys immediately open with, let's do this 70-30. You try to do the earnest thing, and in your arguments back and forth, it ends up becoming a 50-50 split, which is not the worst case scenario, but you guys were definitely trying to get something more in favor of Medan. This obviously makes Medan less happy, but that is what you get out of that.
But we fought for them, so they like us more, right?
Okay. 50. Oops.
Maybe we would have opened
Where
with
that's
full
how it
control and then worked our way down.
All right, next, I think that's we talked about this, and so finally, the security of the mine is just flat out that it's the responsibility.
Yeah, that's
of
their
everyone.
interest. Yeah.
That's irrelevant at this point. So there's a couple conversations that were brought up that were not as
The military
that-
thing.
yeah,
The
yeah,
combined
certainly.
military.
Are we disassembling Medan's arm? Like, are we gonna kick out the current people that lead the army because if they have these connections, right? Like, are you going to remove them so that there's not a possibility of risk?
Reassign. You reassign them.
Reassign them
do like
to
the do like
Basically,
the
you disperse the current military so they don't have the means to work together to try to overthrow.
you disperse and then reform them together.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna kill them.
Reorganize.
You guys, they didn't actually go to war, so it's not like you're gonna be like we hold atrocities against each other, but it's reassign. Of course, now.
Yeah.
So now, you guys, what's your stance for Medan on that? What are you going to try to argue would be the best without theoretically jeopardizing everything? Because I would like to attest here that if if Medan gets so screwed over, they're going to refute everything, and then it's going to be war. So
the way I see it
Medan?
now
Go ahead. Yes.
is that in the military aspect, most of it's focused on the mines, and the only other place, because Medan is a pocket. It doesn't have anywhere it can go, unless they open that emergency exit route through the Temple of Marlesh. That's the only way I can see that they would ever have anything other than that. So, besides just the military there holding, like, what, the other two council members, I don't see, like, how we are going to do this military split, because it should all be focused on the mines and that safety, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and when we open the Great Gate, that as well.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, let's see. So we're dispersing Medan, the Medan military as a basically reorganizing both militaries, include both Medan forces and Karak. So that's just the armed forces. That is what it is. That's just a total army within the mines. And they're gonna of course, there's gonna be some stationed in Medan, the mines, and Karat. So it's gonna be basically it's a mix there. Period. So the one side can't necessarily go take over another because they're the forces from the other side. Not forces from the other side. The party of the other side would be there too. So what Medan, I guess, what they would be worried about is their own safety. So in this case, basically both sides are basically able to have I'm going to say like a Praetorian Guard of sorts. An
elite group that gets to stay where they are, basically.
Right.
Yes, pretty much. And
Alright,
they would be the main. There would be an equal amount that pretty much stay and guard each side of the mine as well. Each side of the cities, as well as in the mine itself.
Okay,
And,
so the rule in the group.
yeah.
Sorry, we're gonna want to speed up. Nothing. Anyone else want to put anything in on that?
No, I mean, it makes sense. Just keep it all equal. Make sure the mine's protected. Maybe keep that like elite Praetorian Guard at Medan. Yeah.
All right. So I haven't had a roll from Evelyn in a while. Evelyn, roll it up. I guess I have so many charisma-based characters. Basically, when I want to screw you, I'm gonna make a call go on it.
Ooh, what am I adding to this?
Persuasion.
Yeah, you say that. Yeah, I got a nat 20.
I know.
Feels
22.
good. And
22. Okay.
22.
So,
man.
and any jurisdiction is that you guys do actually a very good job of defending that. There's no need to actually force the current current army or military to actually have to be dismembered or move people out of their current living arrangements. If they want to move, they're allowed to, so that you're going to have like an open bill that allows people to transfer if they'd like to.
Right.
But overall, there's not going to be a mandate on it. And based on the fact that since Medan is so far behind in the first place, you guys are able to really pressure this deal to allow Medan to keep their current military as is. They don't have to change it. They're going to be part of this collective unit of Karat, effectively, which they'll be part of the army of Karat under their orders and things like that. They're going to kind of abridge them in as either an equal or a peer. But in the end, they get to stay under. They don't have to be disassembled. So all those lives are not being disheveled and ruined. So that was a good win for Medan. So congratulations.
Woo.
and mine security overall, because that's where this all started in the first place.
All right. So with that, I think the last things we need to really talk about is who gets the seats.
Yikes.
Who are you going to propose to be the people that sit on the 2 seats of Medan?
Shit. So the general, has he expressed interest in, like, he wants to be on a seat, yeah? Or does he just want to
I just think he wants to rule the military.
He wanted
wants
to be
to-
king, for God's sake.
all three. Lena doesn't seem to be terribly
Yeah.
interested, but
That's it. Lena's up for the count. She's up there.
But people keep her name is dropped several times in the meeting. So who are the two that you're? I mean, because again, based on your role is determinant of what happens. So who are the two that you would like to elect on your side to argue?
What do you guys think?
Personally, science and religion.
Yeah. I was
yeah.
thinking Lena and Elsie.
That would work. I like Lena and Elsie.
Lena.
No,
Not Lena.
I don't
sorry.
think Lena. No,
No.
I think the I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Graybeard.
The Storm's guy.
Sorry, I'll help
Yeah.
you out of that. So you're talking? Are you talking about the military? Are you talking about the temple Crust Thundercall,
temple.
or are you talking
Yes.
about oh god, where is his name? General
Temple.
Dagos Hornheart.
Not Dagos. I think
The guy who asked us about what we believe in. That guy.
Yeah. that guy
Hmm.
and
Science.
And
Elsie.
and I think that the general should stay good at what he's doing,
Yeah.
which is being a
Yeah.
general. He is the like you could call him the Praetor Guard leader of
Yeah.
He
fucking
is-
Van or something.
Give him a fancy
Well, he's
title.
gonna
and he'll be
run the military here in Medan. I mean, who else is gonna do it? He's the only one for the job. So I said the guy who asked us about religion. I can't remember his name and Elsie.
That's Crust Thundercall. That's what that
Who's
is.
that guy?
Thundercall. Thundercall.
I think that that's
Yeah. I can agree with that.
because he's a wise dwarf. He agreed with us on a lot of points, and then
That's what makes a
Jesus.
person wise, is them great.
But
Yeah,
I think Elsie would bring a lot to it too. I really do. Those two had a lot.
very
So
charismatic.
Elsie and Crust are the ones you're doing.
Yeah,
Is this your final answer?
I've been helping.
Yeah.
Because this might be one of the most important decisions you guys make in this entire array.
oh man, we're gonna start a revolution. He's gonna
You
revolt with the
guys
military.
already downvoted Lena and the military guy, so that's all we got left.
Because
I
I mean,
I'm gonna give you the
he's pissed off
opportunity to
enough.
change because you guys are shaping the world here, and I don't know if you realize it. So.
You know
He
what?
might
You know what?
start
Let me back out. Elsie and let's do Lena. Let's do it. I don't care. She's.
I think Lena would be good.
She's showing.
I really
She's
do.
showing some backbone. She cares. She.
but then we
she's-
have someone who might be another person who's going to be agitated, not getting a council seat, when
That's
Lena
pretty
didn't
silent.
even want one in the first place.
That makes her even more perfect.
It's
for
not
the-
like she
the seat.
outwardly admitted that she didn't want it. It's more like when
Right.
she's talking with you guys on the side, like she's like, I don't know, I don't
Yeah.
know if I should do this. Like, I mean, if you think it's right, but I don't know if it's the right thing to do. Like she's kind of talking more like if we don't give up a seat to like Hornheart, like that could be really problematic, right? So she's constantly providing opposition to it. So it's not like she's flat saying I refuse.
Right.
I gotta
It's
got
just-
Jarvis.
It's just
Jarvis?
Well, I guess if I need to.
Yes, Jarvis and Elsie. That's my choice.
I'd like
So-
to elect Krista.
how.
All right,
how
come on. We're actually over our clock here. Let's go. Approaching that. Come on, make your decisions.
You got extra 30 minutes.
No jokes.
The Varad guy, what was he? Is he like also like I should be a council member or like what?
Oh,
How open
all
were
of
they?
them. So all of them are pretty adamant they want it. This I need to be on this council kind of thing. They're getting in heated arguments with each other. Not in front of the Karat people. It's just like amongst themselves. They keep having private meetings, and they're like, "We need me." It's like the same arguments you heard previously. We need someone who knows how to do defense because if they try to overthrow us, but what about we need to make sure our religion's held up. They've already won with these two other ones. We might lose who we are. And then else, but if we forget about education, everything will be a disaster. So like they always keep arguing the same things, and so you get to argue.
All right,
You
Elsie
get
and
to
Lena.
pit your two people. Your
Elsie-
elections, and then we figure out if they get it or not.
Elsie and Lena.
Elsie and Lena. I hear Elsie and Lena. Okay. And Petite, your choice?
Oh God.
Elsie and Lena.
Two for Elsie and Lena.
Elsie
All
and
right.
Lena, all right.
DTW?
I mean, it's
Just say your piece, man. Come on. You don't have to agree with them.
personally, I think we should do Elsie and the Balad guy, but
Crust.
Crust Thunderfall.
that's who I think. But if the group goes one way,
No.
I'll-
You make your piece. Crust and Elsie. Okay. And then Doma, your opinion.
Fuck, why is it always me that's the last one?
But you're not splitting right now unless you split with
Yeah.
exactly the same
Just
decision to do.
do what your gut
TWS.
does.
Yes.
I feel like, as much as I'd like to see Lena on the council, I don't think she'd do a good job at it because she's so soft-spoken. She wouldn't argue her points unless she
So then who do you think?
goes
That's
through.
not true. That's not true. She did stand up originally,
Yeah,
and
she did.
tell the other three to calm down. She is a good fit for it. I'm just
Make your
voting
peace.
for Crust
Make your
because
peace.
of turbulent times.
All right, those two,
That's not
So,
helpful.
Carrie,
Which two?
Lena and the science lady.
Elsie?
Elsie.
You're the only one who forgot her name. Fuck. Alright, so you guys have elected Elsie and Lena in the end. This is what your side has agreed upon, causing some unpleasantness with a couple individuals. Alright, I don't think we've had a call roll in a long while.
No!
Do us proud. Do us proud.
I don't want to be responsible for this. I was against it. No.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I didn't want Lena.
No, the call. It's all on you.
All right, I'm gonna roll this dice. No, I'm doing
the
it.
future
I'm not
of this
looking at it.
world.
I'm not looking at it. Look where my cursor's at. I'm all the way down here in the corner. I'm not looking
Rest
at it.
on your shoulder.
Did it roll?
It did.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Natural 16.
It's good.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
What is it?
What is persuasion? It's just 16.
16. Alright. So.
Wait, no, 17.
Oh!
My bad. Plus one.
Yeah. Hey! Alright, this is the thing that seems to take the longest time to actually formulate on for Medan to like determine who they want, and you recognize that who gets picked here is actually going to cause the most likelihood of Medan actually accepting this, right? Like you can make factions based off of the wrong people you elect or do get elected in the end. And so in the end, it was elected that Elsie and Lena are the proposed from your side at the very big disappointment to General Degos, who seems to have lost almost all the things he wanted. The only thing he really got to keep here is that he got to keep that his army stays in his control, which was a boon for him. But he wanted it to be in the seat of power, which he wasn't previously. He was just a general before, and he's staying where he is. So this is like a big loss to him. So you can tell he's quite irritated by it. However, Karat does accept your proposal. They do agree with the Lena and Elsie selection. So you have made Lena and Elsie be the one that joins the council, and they agree to it. There is some
Oh my god.
upsetness on the Medan side. Crust is a little bit bitter, but he seems to be kind of not as upset as General Degos. Degos is definitely peeved in the end. And it's not like, it was several days of arguing about who should be it. So it's not like he just got like blindsided. What do you mean you didn't vote for me? No, he's like, in the end, he knew that he wasn't going to be even announced at the table. It's just that you can tell he's mad about it.
He's bitter, yeah.
Yes, very so much so. And that's the decision you made. So Elsie O'Reilly.
He ends up revolting.
Lena
We're
Oken.
taking down another guy.
Lena is like kind of taken aback. She's like, okay, well,
Lena's bewildered.
I'll do the best I can. And then this is kind of her selection actually does be a good boon for what you guys picked, and I'll explain why here. Just some logistics behind it. She's a neutral party. She's not. She wasn't flat out opposed to everything that was being said. So Crust can accept her because she's a religious person. He's okay with that. If it was Elsie and General Degos, Crust would have been pissed, right? There was no religious no one religiously selected at all. General Degos is not General Degos was not supportive of Lena or Lena as an actual selection, but he's relatively okay with Elsie, so he has partial win on that. And so those two selections were the pretty much the safest route you could. If you didn't put Elsie on there and it was just like just Crust and Dragos or Crust and Lena, Elsie would have been ecstatic. There's no one representing education at all. So in this case, this is the best or the second best thing you guys could have done. So just FYI. So hey, we have concluded what you guys have elected here for that. So I'm just gonna read it out to you. In the end, we have a negative for Medan, as Medan is no longer an institution on its own. Unfortunately, it has been absorbed by Karat. and then a neutral open trade for the entire mountain. No one seems to be incredibly for against that, so that's a neutral one. You have a neutral that religion is open. The religion of Krat is being more or less being opposed, but it does include the same two bodies that already exist there. It's a neutral. It's more of a loss on Medan's side than anything, but it's not big enough that I'm going to consider it out of neutrality. The 50-50 of contents of the Medan mine was definitely a negative in Medan's eyes. Oof. So you have 2 negatives, and then you have Medan's army stays its own, which was a positive. So 2 negatives, 1 positive. Overall, you're pretty kind of near the neutral spectrum on here, so Medan's probably okay. We'll find out in the future. So with all of this, over about a week of
we formed a government, guy.
Over a week of deliberations,
And
a conclusion comes into it, and so with that, you guys are now. One thing we did not talk about was the punishment, and so now we need to dialogue about that. We have to dialogue about that, and so now no one decided to talk about it really. The only thing that was even harmonized at all in your 10-minute spiel was monetization, and since we didn't actually put it as a stress point, I had to default to that argument, unfortunately, as your default argument, because you guys didn't bring it up anywhere else. You didn't propose what you would do about reprimandation from yourself on killing the previous king. So effectively, your argument was, well, we can give you money, I suppose. We can offer money. And so, with that in mind, I think the last person that hasn't rolled yet was...
Wait,
Roderick
what?
hasn't rolled twice? Is that right?
No, he rolled twice.
Roderick's rolled twice, Ikal's rolled twice, Evelyn's rolled twice. Doma, have you rolled twice?
No.
No. All right, Doma, make the roll.
Doma, you boy. Oh, come on, natural 20. Something.
Something that's not a 1?
Yeah, why'd you say something about paying him back?
I didn't say that. I don't even know what that was from.
Doma, let's go. What you get? Oh boy, here we go. The moment.
Oh,
okay. Yes.
Plus 8.
26, eh? All right. So, you guys propose this to Medan on all the things here right now. So Medan's already technically kind of in a negative, and here's your projection of like, well, this is what we're willing to give up. We're willing to give up a large amount of money.
Wait, what? When did we talk about this?
We didn't.
During your 10 minutes of deliberation,
Yeah,
you guys brought this up just once, and someone said, I think it was Roderick, that we could give him
I
money.
said, no, time out. That's one thing he
We
would
were
not
talking
say.
about money
He
for
said nothing about money.
trade. It was military money. Money for the military. It had nothing to do with us giving them money.
I heard someone say, and I can probably prove this later, that someone's like, well, or maybe it was a call that we...
That was me, like, way back when we were first...
But it wasn't about...
council stuff,
It wasn't about the king. It was about something else.
Right, and that's why I have to default to this argument as your guys' recommendation.
Okay, wait. Okay, so there wasn't anything about money, but I will say if there's anything we have to pay, like as far as for like what we have to do, like
we could always
either way,
argue
it wasn't.
open
Okay,
trade.
so if you're going to argue that you didn't dialogue about it at all, then I'm still picking this because this is the thing that this is the most sense. So unfortunately, you guys are stuck with it. I'm sorry. Your offer here was you're going to pay damages is what you're trying to. A fine was what your offer was.
Hey, we rolled a 26 though, so
no one talked about this anywhere else. So if in that 10-minute window at all, then so you have no ground to stand on anyways. You were leaving it up to fates of them making the decision.
I guess I didn't realize that was part of that same discussion.
Oh, absolutely. I said you had 10 minutes to talk about as much of the stuff as you want, and then that was it. So you had to talk about everything. Because remember, it's like
Just continue.
You're not, already 8:12. You're not going to want to be there for like 2 weeks, right? You're trying to get this done in a 5-day span window. So all right, so. A 26 is pretty good. So with that, they go, okay, fine. That's semi-reasonable. What else could we do on top of that? And then they're like, well, I mean, what would we just throw him in jail, give him a jail sentence? And there was some fierce opposition to this, not so much from, I mean, obviously you guys don't want to go be thrown in jail, but there's some fierce opposition to this. Lena was definitely at the bat of you, kind of trying to state it. And in the end, Elsie kind of goes, well, this is actually for the better. Like, look, we're going to get a better educational system. I lament the loss of the king, Elsie says in a very dramatic expression. But in the end, we're all going to be better for it. And this is the main thing that actually really helps spin it, that you guys don't end up with jail time or beheading or anything like that. And in the end, they do agree to a fine being thrown onto you to help loaf in the coffers to help the citizens that exist, kind of thing. And so in the end, a fine is thrown to you, and now we're going to find out how much that fine is going to be worth right now.
He rolled a 26, please, be low.
So,
I know, right?
I hate to do this to all of you. I hate to do
Oh, you
Goodbye to all your money.
So, in the end, they go, okay, so a sizable donation is very much encouraged in this situation. And so, per dice roll here, of your guys' theoretical max of what is you had 8,000 gold, right?
That's including the jewels, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise you're going to have to serve jail time, right?
Yeah.
So actually, I rolled the wrong dice. For some reason, I thought you had 6,000. But yeah, it's 8,000, I remember. You had like 7,000 something. So we're going to do 8. We're going to roll a d8 and see how much you...
What?
Yeah. It could take your full fuality, all right? Jeez Louise, calm down. So you guys are in the end, required to pay 3,000 gold in damages.
Holy shit, that's so much less than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that's 1,000
so
from
much
each of
money.
you.
That's so much. All right, Doma takes more. I'm just kidding.
I'd sacrifice
So,
my 2,000.
Keep in mind that roll was also based upon the fact that he rolled a 26 on his...
Yeah.
Yes, it could have been incredibly painful. This is what you got from your 26 on everything. So it's 3,000 gold that's going to be charged to your group. If you refuse to pay, then you have other consequences.
I think
Alright,
that's,
we'll
Do
pay.
you
We'll
do
pay.
you guys pay or not?
Yes.
Yes, I give
Okay.
1,000.
that's going back to the citizens.
All right, so 1,000 from Roderick, 1,000. Where's the other 2,000 coming from?
I'll give 2.
Okay, you'll give 2. All right, so Doma throws out 2,000, 1,000 from Roderick. So the Kingslayer and the person that started the ordeal at all, mounting the majority of the burden, you guys give away 3,000 gold total. This so subtract that from your characters' inventories.
It hurt.
Oh,
It hurt.
sold.
And so,
It
you
hurt.
thought you were rich, and now you're. I mean, one of you's still rich at least.
I'm
so
technically not poor.
So that concludes that. And so at the end of all this now, that covers the main points here. There's still some turbulation, obviously, in here, but this is kind of where they're starting off as. And then you guys, after you pay your fine and give the gold away, you're then effectively absolved. This is quote unquote absolved of the crime you commit. A lot of the residents in Medan might not be necessarily enthused by your presence, but some are okay, some are not. You know, that's a whole different thing we'd have to explore in the future whenever you come back. In the end, you are technically free, and you're allowed to leave. And so at this point here,
Wait, there's one more piece. As far as for opening the mines, it's like how, when, and
Great Gate.
how.
So
Yes.
over the week here, over this week of you guys talking, Medan's army actually fully takes control of the entire mine. So the mine is considered safe. And in the deliberations of having more envoys come in and stuff like that, they keep it open. They don't close it back up. It doesn't benefit them in the first place. So with the rulings that came into place here, the Great Gate will be opened.
Not gonna give my precious.
They agreed to have it be opened, and in the end, it's elected that one of the council members of Medan will be the one that's going to open it. And so Elsie goes, I have no interest in running out there and stopping my studies. So Mrs. Oakenwell, it's all on your shoulders. Fee my guests to show our brand new co-mutual existence with each other. I'm gonna go study. And so she just like leaves, just abandons Lena on it, and Lena's too timid at this moment to just deny it, so she accepts it. And then here you guys are now charged with the mission of where you're being free. Lena asks all of you, would you please escort me safely there? I would greatly appreciate it.
Sure, Lena.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So that's where we'll be ending our tonight's episode.
We have to go shopping now.
So government has
Shopping.
has effectively been established. You guys have avoided execution, or prison time. Way to go dumb on that 26. God, imagine if you got that one. Oh boy,
Death.
death.
Wait, now that we form this new government, they're all against you, and you have to fight your way out.
So that's where we're gonna leave up. We're gonna pick up this again next Friday. So you guys, what I need from you guys all to do here is I need you
Sunday?
to. I'm sorry, yeah, Sunday. Oh God, I'm so
there
used
you
to saying
go.
Friday. So next Sunday, what I need from you guys is to try to consider where you really want to go. You've agreed to help Lena. There is no firm date of when it's going to happen. So she's going to get escorted there if you truly want to or not. This is for you guys to dialogue about if you're really willing to do it. But she's asking you to escort her over there as an entourage.
Over where?
Over to the Great
Great
Gate
Gate.
to open it up.
Oh, okay.
Or I mean, you gotta keep in mind though, if you bring her over there, how is she gonna get back? Keep that in mind, everyone. So. Part of your decision making there, please go ahead and work with each other about how you want to do it. Imagine that this is pretty much your kind of downtime, and then we'll do a quick shop next episode to try to think about the things you want to try to get involved with in advance, please, so we can kind of get on the ball quickly. We are about to leave Medan Mountains. Oh my goodness!
Wait, we can leave?
You're
We
gonna-
can do that?
Yes!
You're about to. You're about to open the
We're
Great
about
Gate.
to.
You
That's
boy.
a thing?
You need to go with Lee to open the Great Gate.
Oh my goodness! All right, so thank you viewers for all your support. Thank you my players for playing.
Carl's gonna flip his shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it the most miserable of days when you leave. It's gonna be a storm coming through. It's gonna be
The fucking hurricane.
I want to go
sleet.
back.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
Carl's gonna be like, nah, fuck that. Turn around.
Oh, it's going to be so bright for a call. Oh my goodness.
All right, so that'll be the end of tonight's episode. Sorry, Potato. You're on standby.
Sorry.
Next week for sure. Potato.
Yeah.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah, we won't take 3 hours shopping.
We can't stall anymore. I mean.
Unless
I mean, we can shop
Oh,
where we
yeah, we
want.
can.
Oh, wait. Lara, to actually expedite that, you want to give us a list of what we could buy?
Oh yeah.
No. I can be frank with you up front, but we'll talk about this after we close the stream down. So we're gonna close the stream down now.
Okay.
Have a good
Bye,
night, everyone.
guys.
Good night.
Bye,
See you next
everyone.
Sunday.